On ESPN. And tonight, the final game of the regular season as Cincinnati pays a visit to Tulsa to take on the Golden Hurricane on senior night from H.A. Chapman Stadium. Mike Corey, Rini and Golia, hoping that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Welcome to tonight's matchup here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's been a struggle for Cincinnati this season. They look to end the year on a high note with a win. They've lost 4 in a row. Tulsa, on the other hand, is going to a bowl game. They try to close out the year winners of 4 of their last 5. The American standings, the East first, with South Florida and Temple leading the way there in that side of the conference. On the west side, Tulsa's been close this year, Rainey. They're really 2 plays away from potentially having a chance to play for the American Conference Championship.
I was told that a few times in the press box tonight. 2 plays away, but still an outstanding year for Tulsa. And then getting back to the East, Temple's really in control on that side. So the American Conference has played some really good football this season.
We are ready for action tonight. Coach Philip Montgomery in his 2nd season for Tulsa will have them back in a bowl game for the 2nd straight year. Cincinnati had been in 5 straight bowl games. Tommy Tuberville's squad went through a little bit of a struggle this season. We'll document the reasons why as this game progresses. Avery Johnson on the kickoff return for Cincinnati as Tulsa won the toss and they have deferred. So the Bearcats on offense for the first time here tonight.
And it's one of those games, Mike, where, unfortunately for Cincinnati, you're not playing for a bowl game, but it's the last time your seniors are ever going to strap it up for all intents and purposes unless someone gets a shot at the pro. And so this is a big game for them.
Not the last time for this guy, though. Hayden Moore, a sophomore out of Clay, Alabama. He started the season, got banged up a little bit. Now he has returned. They've went through a quarterback carousel this year.
All 3 quarterbacks have played, but Hayden Moore won the job outright in camp, and it was his team going into the season.
Tion Green, the running back, lines up on the outside here as they swing it around out of Devin Gray for the first time tonight in a short pickup off to the left side. They have really struggled offensively. That's no secret.
Well, they've been decimated by injuries. Tion Green is really their only experienced running back, and the way to get him some rest is they got to do some packages for the wide receivers, and we saw that on the first play of the game.
Moore's pass now to Nate Cole, and he's dropped right on the spot. Reggie Robinson was there for Tulsa to lay the hit.
Impressed with this Tulsa defense, Mike. We had them last week at UCF, and they don't have like one star of this defensive unit, but they got 11 guys that do their job, and they play excellent team defense.
Well, they really do. There's so much talk on the offense. If it wasn't for the defense, Tulsa no doubt wouldn't be where they are right now. It is 3rd and 8 for Cincinnati from the 25. Good time for Moore here, but a short pickup once again. Called. He's not going to get away. Shy of the 30-yard line, 4th down, punt team 3 and out.
Well, that time defensive coordinator Bill Young decided I'm just going to rush 3. I'll have max coverage. They gave the underneath pass. Just come up and make the sure tackle. Get the 4th down, and a nice job by the Tulsa defense to start this game.
And Sam Geraci has seen the field way too much this season. His 60th punt of the campaign coming up as Jerian Anderson awaits and has it at the 30-yard line. And just over 5 yards on the return before he's wrestled down by Lyndon Stevens.
And speaking of the injuries for Cincinnati, even Sam Geraci, the punter, has been hurt this year with his patella tendon.
And now here comes the Tulsa offense tonight for the first time. Dane Evans, a senior out of Sanger, Texas. What a season he is having. He is 261 yards away from 3,000. Look at the offensive firepower this team has.
This has never been done in NCAA history. If Evans can get to 3,000 yards and Lucas and Atkinson can get to 1,000 receiving, they already have the 2 rushers. Unbelievable the pressure this offense puts on you with so many weapons across the field.
James Flanders starts in the backfield with the first play is a pass to Kevin Lucas on the reception. And a short gain of 4 yards.
And Dane Evans, the 5th-year quarterback, he's the orchestrates this offense. And I don't think he gets enough credit, Mike, not only in the conference, but nationally. He does a phenomenal job running this offense and is having a great, great year.
Well, he's a gamer. As here's Flanders for the first time tonight. Not much doing on 2nd down. Evans is the all-time leading passer now in Tulsa history with over 11,000 yards passing and Flanders has been a nice compliment there in the backfield. They're going quickly as they do. 3rd down and 5. And now they'll check back to the sideline.
And Flanders is more that downhill guy where D'Angelo Brewer will make 1 or 2 cuts, but they both run the ball extremely hard. Good job up front by the offensive line this year to have 2,000-yard rushers.
Evans. And he tries to take off and trips. Just a 2-yard pickup. Kevin Mouton might have got a hand in there to knock him down.
Yeah, he definitely did. Dane Evans saw some green. He was going to pick up the first down, but Muhan did an excellent job getting a hand in there, tripping up 48, preventing the first down.
So Tulsa ends up going 3 and out as Braden Beard is back to return the Dalton Parks kick. Nice high kick by Parks. Beard's going to let it go. And Tulsa does an excellent job to down it inside the 5-yard line. And we will step aside. No score. Both teams with an early 3 and out on offense. More from Tulsa, Oklahoma here on this Friday night. College football on ESPN. Opportunity on offense for Cincinnati, and they're backed up inside of their own 5-yard line. Look at these numbers, Rennie, from the first 8 games into the last 4. It's been pretty bad.
Yeah, 6.5 points the last 4 games. They just lacked explosive plays. It's been a tough year for first-year offensive coordinator Zach Taylor, who came from the Miami Dolphins.
Moore from the middle of his own end zone tries to get some breathing room as he takes a shot, and it's incomplete, pretty much to your point, but there was excellent coverage there as Thomas Geddes was the intended receiver. Reggie Robinson got a hand in there.
Right on cue. Offensive coordinator Zach Taylor told us this week they were going to take shots vertically down the field. They have to do it. They've just been decimated at the receiver position. They lost a lot of seniors from graduation, and, you know, they're just lacking those big plays. Only 6 plays, Mike, that are considered explosive in the running game for Cincinnati this year. Just not enough big plays.
Flag down as the pass goes out to Devin Gray, and he's able to pick up the first. We'll see if it stands. Todd LaPenta is our referee here tonight.
Offside. Defense, number 28. Penalties declined. Resulting play, first down.
It was on Craig Suit, so they'll take the play, obviously, and that's finally something positive for them to get moving here in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're backed up to your own end zone, to get it out there near the 20, and you're right, they just need to get into a rhythm. That's another thing they have not been able to do this season.
We go back over the last 4 games, Temple, BYU, UCF, and Memphis. What did they go, 13 quarters without a touchdown? Moore, again, a deep shot, and it's incomplete. He wanted Jerron Rollins. Looked like he had maybe a step there if that pass was a little bit more on the money.
Well, there's their vertical shots. You know, one thing you got to realize about the wide receiving core this year is, you know, they just haven't had enough of them, Mike. You know, these wide receivers have been playing 80 plays a game where ideally they would like to rotate them through. They're only playing 45 or 50, and been a tough year.
Tion Green now on a 2nd down carry for a couple. And you mentioned the wide receivers. They lost 6 to graduation last year. You lose that kind of talent. And Tommy Tuberville's a coach who likes to redshirt some players, so they have a couple of really good players sitting out. And that's what the reason why they struggled a little bit.
Khalil Lewis, who had 48 receptions on the year, got concussed last week, so he's missing this game, and it's just one thing after another.
3rd and 7. Moore nowhere to go, brought down for a loss. Excellent coverage in the secondary by Tulsa. Colton Schindler was in on the play. It's a loss of 3, and it's 4th down.
I mean, you said it. Great coverage on the back end. Moore gets forced out of the pocket, and Schindler comes up for the tackle. I mean, it's exactly the way you want to play it. You know, Hayden Moore really isn't a threat with his feet. Keep him in there. He's not going to really beat you with his speed to the outside. Nice job by Schindler to come up and make that play.
Not a great punt here. It's going to bounce before midfield, and Tulsa will have the ball in Cincinnati territory when we come back. Just under 5 minutes gone by in the first. Tulsa back on offense after this. People streaming college football games this season, and for good reason. What a year it's been. If you're not already doing so, download the ESPN app where you can stream every game live all season long, no matter where you are.
You know, it's the future. With all the plane rides we take, we're always on our apps, and even up here in the press box, stay in tune with what's going on around the country.
And if you're on the computer as well, you can go to watchespn.com also. Dane Evans in Tulsa, second offensive series of the game after just a 26-yard punt. They have it at the Cincinnati 45. Flanders. And James Flanders runs into his own guy. The ball is loose. Cincinnati has it. And the Bearcats have recovered. Chris Burton got in there and recovered the ball for Cincinnati.
And that was one of the keys, Mike, for this Cincinnati defense. Create turnovers. They're -2 turnover ratio on the year, and they have to create them, and they got one right there.
That's the second forced fumble of the season for Carter Jacobs. You saw him right there, number 20. He got in there and did what you just said.
And a great look at it. The ball was out from James Flanders before a knee hit the ground. Great view, and this is going to be Cincinnati ball.
That's the 22nd turnover caused by the Cincinnati defense this year. They came in 24th in the country in that department as Green carries and gets up close to midfield. Runs for about 8. But the problem with that, Rainey, is they've gained 22. They've turned it over 23.
Yeah, and that's where they're that minus in the turnover ratio, which didn't really seem to affect them last season, but they had a pretty productive offense last year.
And you see Tion Green wearing 23 tonight. And we'll get to that in a second as Moore on a second down and short. Finds his man Gray, and he's got the first down. Good extra move there at the end for Devin Gray. It's a first. So Green is wearing 23 in the backfield. And that's for former Bearcats running back Isaiah Peed, who suffered career-ending injuries in a car accident in Columbus, Ohio back on November 12th. He was over a 3,000-yard rusher in his Bearcat career, third best in school history. So wearing number 23 tonight in honor of Peed. And now it's Deontay Buckley for the first carry tonight. So you had mentioned it, Rainey, about them being a few players down. Mike Boone, their sophomore running back, is out tonight. Chad Bonchbach, a junior running back, is out tonight. It's tough sledding for these guys.
And that was Deontay Buckley, only his 12th carry of the season, if that gives you any idea how far down the depth chart they've gotten at the running back position.
Moore, another shot. Geddes, he's open. He has it. That's a Cincinnati touchdown. Thomas Geddes, the true freshman. And the Bearcats strike first.
And how about Thomas Geddes, Mike? Only 4 receptions coming into this season, coming into this game. And there's the vertical shots that Zach Taylor told us they were going to take. Geddes, a 6'5", 170-pounder. As you said, a true freshman out of Pompano Beach, Florida. You see the speed with the vertical shot for that 38-yard touchdown reception.
How about that little move there inside of Reggie Robinson, normally a very good cover guy for Tulsa.
Ran a nice route, stemmed it, got back outside with good speed.
Point after bounds is good. 8:31 to go in the first quarter. And he scores Bearcats 7. There's a Hurricane 0.
Welcome, everyone, to Tulsa, Oklahoma here tonight as the Golden Hurricane just went down 7-0 to Cincinnati and a big touchdown pass. They needed some big plays, and they finally got one here. And here's what just happened. Hayden Moore to Thomas Geddes to get the scoring started here tonight. Mike Corey and Rini Ngolia.
Cincinnati's been lacking the big plays down the field. They go with the vertical shot here to Thomas Geddes, the true freshman out of Florida. Nice route as he beats the defensive back. Gets inside of him, then uses the speed, and Reggie Robinson's a very good cover corner, but a great play offensively for Cincinnati that really, Mike, they've been lacking all season long. And the best part of that for Cincinnati is they caused the turnover, got the ball, and a few plays later, they score. So they get the turnover on defense, and then they turned it into points.
Just one touchdown last week versus Memphis in a 34-7 loss, and only one in the last 3 weeks. So a good start for the Bearcats here tonight. Bishop Louis on the return for Tulsa just gets across the 20-yard line. Extracurricular activity up at the 30-yard line here. Some pushing and shoving going on. No flags are down, and the Golden Hurricane now on offense for the third time tonight. Let's take a look at the standings in the American Athletic Conference. Tulsa has had an incredible season. They lost to Ohio State earlier in the year. They lost on a 4th down play at midfield to Navy, and a tough one against Houston. You look at the East first with Temple and USF leading the way on that side. But we've talked about it. We've documented it throughout the season. Tulsa, so close to potentially playing for an American Conference championship.
Yeah, just as you said, 2 close plays that could have turned the game either way.
The pass is dropped here by Lucas from Dane Evans. And let's see, as we've got player down for Cincinnati. That was Carter Jacobs. There's also a flag down as well. So a lot happening here. Let's sort it out. Todd LaPenta is our referee tonight.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 74. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
That was Chandler Miller, the center that time for Tulsa.
Boy, but how about this Cincinnati defense, Mike? Coming out to play tonight. Lucas looks like he's going to make that catch and gets a big hit to jar it free.
Safety Carter Jacobs walks off the field for Cincinnati. He's out for right now. Dane Evans with a 2nd down and 10 from his own 20-yard line. One thing about this Tulsa offense, Rainey, you and I have seen this team a lot this year, is that it can look like they're not doing too much for a little while, then all of a sudden they strike and it comes in a flurry.
They were sluggish last week, Mike, against UCF. It took them a while to get going. But the one thing I will tell you about this Cincinnati defense, who hasn't played bad this season, they're pretty stout up front. They are strong. They're big-bodied. Chris Burton, 94. Broughton, 96. They will cause some issues. And Tulsa likes to get that zone read running game going between the tackles.
After the short run by Brewer, it is now 3rd and long here on their 3rd opportunity in offense. 3 and out with a punt, then they just had a fumble, and now here they throw an interception. It's picked off by Mike Tyson for Cincinnati. So they get the fumble recovery, and now they get an interception, and that's their 16th this season. They had 9 all of last year, and that's good for 11th in the country.
And Mike Tyson, the linebacker, number 5 for Cincinnati, is just sitting underneath. And I don't think Dane Evans saw him, Mike, because he throws it right to him. And Mike Tyson makes the catch for the interception. And again, this Cincinnati defense playing excellent. Steps underneath it, makes the interception, and gets the offense back the ball in prime position.
But it's all about doing what you just said, and that's capitalizing. They've given it right back. Not this game so far. They had a fumble recovery. They turned it to 7. And now what happens here? Just inside the 30-yard line. Look at the offensive lineman go down. It's a pass back to Moore, and he's going to run with it with a convoy in front. Hayden Moore with his entire offensive line. He scores the touchdown. Pulling out all the stops here early tonight is Cincinnati up by 2 scores.
What a play call by Zach Taylor. We could see it from the booth. Clearly a lateral, that first pass. You knew he was going to throw it. The only thing we didn't know was they were going to throw it back to Hayden Moore with a convoy with his offensive line in front of him. I mean, you practice these plays in practice, and they never even work that good, in the practice field. That was picture perfect for the Cincinnati Bearcats. And listen, pull all the plays out, right? It's the last game of the season. No sense keeping them for next year. And right now they're looking pretty good early on in this game.
What a creative play. That was pretty exciting for Cincinnati. Just see the offensive line just drop right down. And Hayden Moore getting the pass back and walking in for the touchdown. There was nobody that was going to stop him. 14-0 Cincy. 3-0 over Tulsa midway through the first. We'll show you the touchdown after the kick. Rainey, this is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, this is what Zach Taylor told us he was going to do. Go after those big plays, those explosive plays. We've seen it already time and time, taking shots vertically down the field, and then that time a little trickeration, if you will, for the second touchdown of the game.
Well, that was Cogswell, Tyler Cogswell, that was able to throw it back to Moore that time, and you have to make it fun for a group that's struggling a little bit in practice. As here's the kick with Rowdy Simon this time for Tulsa, and dropped to the 15-yard line.
You know, the thing I love about that play, Mark, the first part of it, Mike, the first part of it is Hayden Moore has to make sure that's a lateral to the tight end, Tyler Cogswell. He does that. Then the offensive line just kind of slips out, as you said, kind of hiding. Cogswell throws a great ball back to Hayden Moore, and then look at the convoy as he finds himself down the sideline in the end zone. You talked about it. Fun, exciting, you know, the offense has lacked it. They came out today with it thus far.
And those are the kind of plays they need, especially up against a Tulsa offense that averages a ton of points. And it's a 60-minute game, of course, and Tulsa, like you said, started slow last week. And we'll see what happens here now after they're down 14-0. That was Flanders on the carry.
Well, the good news for Tulsa fans is we know how explosive this offense is, but, you know, I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to give anyone 14-0 lead early on in the game.
Play fake, Evans goes deep for Lucas. He makes the catch with one hand. Kevin Lucas.
Forget SportsCenter top 10. That's one of the catches of the year right there, Mike. Full speed, Kevin Lucas extends the right hand and pulls it in. Unbelievable catch.
And right back to the ground of Flanders, and he runs close to a first down just before the 25-yard line. That's the 10th catch of the season of 40 or more yards for Lucas. That one went for 47.
And make no mistake about it, Tulsa is not going to give replay any chance to look at a play. They go so fast.
Not the way Flanders has been running this year. It's a first down run inside the 10. He got tripped up by Alex Thomas.
And they make it really hard for the viewer at home to get a second look at it, too, because they go quick. They're instructed to hand the ball to the official so they can spot it and go. And, as I said, foot on the gas pedal here.
Flanders again. And down to the 5-yard line. We'll get a chance. We'll show it to you again because it was amazing on the grab by Kevin Lucas. He's now over 1,000 yards receiving this year. Did that in exciting fashion, and he's third place all-time in Tulsa receiving yards. James Flanders looking for Pater. He has it. Touchdown, Tulsa. You said it. It didn't take long.
And that's how explosive this offense is. And you get that offensive line, they are at best when they're pulling. Tyler Bowling, 72, is going to pull out in front. Willie Wright, 58. And James Flanders does a nice job reading those blocks, finding pay dirt.
6 plays, 85 yards in under 2 minutes. They specialize in that this season. 1 minute and 36. All 5 of their scoring drives last week were under 2 minutes. In the first one of this game, same situation.
Unbelievable catch by the senior Kevin Lucas. The payoff touchdown run by James Flanders. And don't wink, because you'll miss a touchdown from Tulsa.
16th rushing touchdown of the season for James Flanders. And Tulsa gets 7 back. Long day yesterday, Turkey, you're tired. You get to sit back and watch some exciting football in action here early in the first.
Absolutely. You're home, you get a little plate of leftovers.
That's right.
Ready to go.
3 scores on the board early, 5:44 to play. Cincinnati has done a nice job of making this exciting here from the start with 2 early touchdowns, and then Tulsa comes back with what they do, a scoring drive in under 2 minutes.
And Tommy Tuberville and Cincinnati, they knew coming in this game they had to score a bunch of points to stay in this game because the Tulsa's offense is that explosive.
Jerron Rollins, not quite to the 20-yard line as the Bearcats have it up by 7. rivalry weekend, and tomorrow at noon Eastern, it all comes down to this on ABC, the 113th playing of the game. Number 3, Michigan. Number 2, Ohio State from the shoe. How exciting is this going to be? Can't wait to watch this game.
Not only is it a great rivalry, but look at the implications not only in the Big Ten, Mike, but in the national scene as well. So this game has everything tomorrow.
Buckeyes have won 4 in a row against Michigan, and 11 of the last 12 comes your way tomorrow at noon Eastern on ABC. Taylor Booz on the carry this time for the first time tonight. It's a 4-yard run by the redshirt freshman out of Clifton, Virginia. So he has been thrust into action tonight with all the injuries.
Yeah, guys that just normally wouldn't see time are in there, and really they just can't beat up Tion Green and give him every carry. So getting some more guys in there, some packages for the wide receivers on end arounds and jet sweeps, just trying to mix it up.
2nd down and 6. Moore on the keeper, and is able to eke out a first down up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 7 by the sophomore quarterback.
Trent Martin, the middle linebacker, thought he had him tackled at the line of scrimmage, but Moore does a nice job to evade him, get upfield, and pick up that first down.
You wonder how much different this season would have been for Cincinnati had Hayden Moore not sprained his ankle in that Houston game. That was a valiant effort in that game. They give up a few points late, but then he has never been the same since.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nate Cole in motion. Play fake. Moore again. They're taking another shot. Geddes, and Geddes hauls this one in. He's got it at the 20-yard line. What a grab. Couldn't get it the first time. It makes good this time. What a job on that play.
The exact same route he ran for the touchdown against Reggie Robinson, the corner. That time he just bent it more towards the post. Had Robinson beat. Moore puts it out there, and he makes another big-time catch.
He's 2 for 3, if you will, on these long balls. The first one, no, you called it, the touchdown one, and now he's come back with this grab, and it's a reverse here to Rollins, and Rollins gets by the first man. Flags are down all over the place as he's cut down inside the 20 by Matt Linscott, and we'll check the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 8. The penalty we add to the run. After this is the goal, automatic first down.
Well, you know, Tommy Tuberville and Zach Taylor are probably saying, Thomas Geddes, where you been?
Right.
True freshman from Florida. Again, just a vertical shot one-on-one against Reggie Robinson. What I like, Mike, is his route running ability. That little double move gets inside on Robinson and then goes up and makes the catch.
He is getting a step. There's no doubt about it. And so far, so good for Cincinnati, looking totally different on offense here tonight.
Again, Zach Taylor said, I'm going to take vertical shots, whether we complete them or not. He has not disappointed.
I mean, 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games, and they have 2 touchdowns in the first quarter here tonight. Moore on another design keeper, and puts his head down and gets close to the 5-yard line. He's a gamer, that's the thing, and he's going to be back for a couple more seasons for this Bearcat team.
And, you know, you talked about it. This is a program that's been good, prideful. This year's just an aberration, but these kids want to play hard. They want to end the season on a good note for the seniors and get a win.
2nd down and goal from the 5. Play fake to Buckley, and on the rollout, pass deflected by Linscott as he wanted Nate Cole. And what a season Linscott has had for Tulsa.
Former walk-on, it's earned a scholarship, but you're right. Great coverage underneath as Moore tried to get that in there to Nate Cole. Linscott jumps it underneath and gets that hand on it to deflect it.
Certainly breaks up what could have been Cincinnati's 3rd touchdown tonight. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Deontay Buckley in the backfield on the stack formation in the wide receiver positions. Moore guns it, Cole, and he couldn't quite turn around in time. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, they sent some pressure after him there. Cincinnati did a good job protecting Moore. I thought he threw it a little soon, but good coverage as well, and a nice job by the Tulsa defense to hold Cincinnati to a field goal attempt.
Rudy, as we document all the things that have happened to Cincinnati this season, I mean, this is another one. Their kicker, who's been unbelievable, Andrew Gantz, tore a muscle in his hip in training camp. He played in basically 1.5 games, so it's been Josh Paisley that has had the majority of the time this season, and 8 of 14 on the field goals. This one a chip shot, though, and he's able to knock it through. And they'll take it. 17-7 early action here in favor of the Bearcats.
I mean, you talked about it earlier. This Cincinnati team hadn't scored a touchdown in 13 quarters, dating back a few games ago. Now, a virtual explosion in this first quarter.
Celebrating its 12th year, sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. And you had mentioned a moment ago, this Cincinnati team, they went to a school record 5 straight bowl games last year. They lost to San Diego State in the Hawaii Bowl. They played in a bowl in 9 of the last 10 years. So this is, if you will, a little bit of a blip on the radar. I know it's not been a fun season for Cincinnati fans, but I have a little bit of understanding about what's happened here.
And there were some young players that Tommy Tuberville decided to redshirt that he could have probably played as true freshman and helped them a little bit. But I think he's probably glad that he did. And I think with the recruiting class and those players that he redshirted last year coming up next year, I think Cincinnati will be back on track where people are accustomed to see them.
Now on the other side, Tulsa. They're the team with the firepower coming into this game here tonight. You had mentioned it earlier. They're on the verge of becoming the only team in the history of college football to potentially have a 3,000-yard passer, 2 1,000-yard rushers, and 2 1,000-yard receivers all in the same season. Now it's up to Evans and Atkinson to try to get over those totals.
And remember, it doesn't have to happen tonight, folks. The bowl games count, and obviously with the great year Tulsa's having, going to a bowl game, so they have the rest of this game and a whole nother one to do it. So I would say if I was a betting man, I say they're going to get it done.
I would say so too. Atkinson 169 away at the wideout position, and Dane Evans just 210 more yards passing as Brewer carries and has it to the 30-yard line. You wonder what's going to be made of this Tulsa team for next year, not to take away this incredible season here, but Evans is a senior. Brewer is going to be back. Flanders is a senior, and those 2 wide receivers, Lucas and Atkinson, are going to be gone.
Yeah, the biggest thing, though, I think, is the loss of Dane Evans. I mean, he orchestrates this offense. He's a 5th-year senior, gets him in the right calls, and level-headed, very mature quarterback in experience, and they're going to miss that a lot next year.
Here's Brewer, needs to get to the 35-yard line, just a little bit shy, 3rd and short is on the way. And you made this comparison with him before, and I see where you're going with it, because he should get a chance. He's kind of got that Drew Brees stature, right?
Yeah, and again, not comparing him to Drew Brees, but the stature, his arm, strength, very similar.
Brewer keeps this drive alive in a first down carry. He's run real hard this season. 2nd leading rusher behind Flanders. That's been an unbelievable 1-2 combination.
As great as this offense has been, Mike, with the explosive plays, they've had a ton at the running game, and they run the ball first and foremost.
Evans, and a little miscommunication there, wanted Atkinson. Sailed it by him.
Yeah, Atkinson hooked that up, Mike. Dane Evans thought he was going to keep going, and just out of sync, uncharacteristically for those two.
Under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Crowd a little stunned here tonight, too, at Tulsa. They thought they might come in here and roll early and often, but we'll see. A lot of time, obviously, left as Brewer, with a 13-yard run, gets to midfield.
We asked head coach Philip Montgomery, listen, Cincinnati's not having a good year. How do you keep your kids with an eye on this game, not thinking about a bowl game and a 10-win season? He felt they were mature and up to the challenge, not looking ahead.
Evans runs for about 4. Nice job to take off there. Eric Wilson makes the tackle for Cincinnati.
And if I'm Philip Montgomery, I tell Dane Evans, slide.
Sure.
Don't take that hit there, especially just slide, pick up, you picked up 4. You can go ahead and slide and pick up 2. I'll be okay with 2nd and 8. We want to keep you healthy.
Last week, he didn't need to do all that much. He threw for just 126 yards, did have the 2 touchdowns, but it was Flanders and Brewer that had the incredible games on the ground. And here's Brewer yet again. And Eric Wilson, 2nd tackle in a row for Cincinnati.
Well, and that's what they want to do. They want to run between the tackles. They got 2 backs that'll be able to bounce it get it to the outside. And once they get that defense kind of sucking in a little bit, getting an extra guy in the box, they hit you with the passing attack.
Cincinnati jumping. There are the flags. Now Evans has a chance to take a shot. Atkinson. It's dropped there by the defensive back Lyndon Stevens. But we're anticipating an offsides here.
Offside defense, number 42. 5-yard penalty. The first of this penalty results in a first down.
And that's the experience of Dane Evans. He knew he had that offsides. He didn't really have anything with his vertical shot to Atkinson, but he said, you know what, I'm going to take it anyway. See what happens. We got a free 5, and we're going to pick up the first down.
That's the way to do it. Inside the 40-yard line now. Brewer is still in the backfield. It's been very smart this season by Tulsa when they want to go fast, when they check back. Has to keep the defense guessing. And Brewer behind that offensive line. How about the job they've done this year? Evan Plagg, Tyler Bowling, Chandler Miller, and Alex Bagonis at right guard tonight. Splitting time with Blake Belcher, who's been injured, and Willie Wright at right tackle.
Yeah, I thought as a unit, we've seen them a bunch this year. They've played really well up front.
Brewer needs to get to the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short on the way in this sustained drive that's happening here for Tulsa, and that might be the last play of the first quarter.
Well, you said it. They take their time when they want to, but when they get explosive plays, that's when they go fast, get on the ball, keep the defense on their heels, and it's a very well-run offense.
Well, not what many people have expected or were expecting here tonight in this one, with a struggling Cincinnati team and the high-powered offense of Tulsa. And it's been the Bearcats that got on the board early and often. They lead it by 10, 17-7. To the second quarter we go from Tulsa right after this. Quarter all season. Get fired up here
Those
tonight.
Those look like your moves, Mike. I've seen you dance up here before.
Better than my moves.
Is that your dance teacher?
I like the earmuffs / headphones, whatever those are, right? 10-point lead for Cincinnati as we head to the second. Mike Corey, Rainey, and Golia. 1 touchdown last game here. Already 2 in this first quarter tonight as Tulsa has the ball, and that was the 10th play of this drive, which they continue, and it's a first down. Cincinnati had only 1 touchdown in the last 3 games. And they're playing like the Cincinnati of old here offensively.
Well, 17 points in that first quarter, the most points they've scored in a quarter all season.
James Flanders is now in the backfield for Tulsa. And he gets the call on a first down carry. And you got to like those two. They are the best of friends. They go at each other a little bit at the end of the games, kind of tease each other. Last week it was 167 for Brewer, 163 for Flanders. Brewer had 2 touchdowns. Flanders had a touchdown.
They complement each other very well. And it's easy as running backs to be best friends when you're both over 1,000 yards.
Right, exactly. And everybody's getting an equal amount, I was going to say. 2nd down and 8. And again, Flanders, Cincinnati, good job to kind of bottle him up. They've got a pretty good defensive front there. I mean, it's been the struggles on the offensive side this year that has Cincinnati at a 4-7 campaign. But defensively, even with some injuries, they're still playing pretty good.
They sure do. Very stout up there. That was Marquise Copeland that time, the defensive tackle, able to fight off the block and still make the tackle. And that's one thing. If you can clog it up front against this Tulsa running game, easier said than done, then it'll give you a chance on the back end. And thus far, only holding Tulsa at only 7 points early, doing a nice job defensively.
Copeland's been dominant the last 4 games with 31 tackles. Nice pass to the outside here, and on the catch, it's Keenan Johnson, and he has a first down for Tulsa. That is their true freshman out of Alto, Texas. He burned his red shirt midway through the year, and he's paid dividends for the Golden Hurricane.
They really like Keenan Johnson. That's why they burned his red shirt. They wanted more production at that wide receiver spot. They took the red shirt off him, and they've been getting it.
Screen play out to Lucas, and Johnson had a little block there, but it got shed, and not much on the catch by Lucas. And when you have such an explosive offense, Reedy, right, you can do what you want to do for a long period of time. You don't have to, some teams, they're like, oh boy, we're down 10 or we're down 20. Now with Tulsa, you can continue to run your game plan for a long time.
Yeah, you're in a lot of games, even when you're down by a bunch, and we've seen some great comebacks from Tulsa this season, so they do not get nervous when they're down.
Brewer on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and about 5 on the way. They actually have the 2nd largest comeback in the history of college football in a game earlier this season when they came back at Fresno State down by 31 points to win back in week 4 in double overtime.
Yeah, on the road, just stay within yourself, making plays, and that's what it's about.
It's going to be 3rd and 6, and this is the 16th play of this drive upcoming.
Now, you want to finish drives off like this, obviously, with touchdowns, not field goals. So a big 3rd down here.
Evans looking left, right to Lucas the entire time, and he is brought down, but it's going to be enough for the first. As Carter Jacobs is there to make the play. And now let's see, looked initially, he was past the stick, and then the spot comes back 1.5 yards.
I think he's short, Mike. Carter Jacobs, what an unbelievable job. He shoots up the alley from the safety position, tackles Kevin Lucas, and I think he clearly keeps him about 1/2 yard short as he brings him down. I think it's a great play by the safety. Now, does Philip Montgomery go for it? And I think he does here.
That was a little early on the call that time. I apologize, and they will. 4th down and 1. James Flanders now in the backfield, and it is 4th and 1. Flanders gets the call, ran into the back of his own offensive lineman, and he's not going to have it. But right into the back that time, Alex Pagonis, and he just kind of stonewalled him.
We talked about how good the defensive line of Cincinnati was. Alex Pagonis, 75 for Tulsa, gets blown back, and you saw the penetration by this Cincinnati defensive line, and they came here to play tonight. 17-7, they lead it in Tulsa.
Ohio this weekend for Michigan and Ohio State. 5 hours of coverage too. Starts at 7 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, 4 a.m. Pacific, Greeny, 1 a.m. in Hawaii. You don't even go to bed.
No, a little extra duty for those guys with a 5-hour game day shift.
Exactly.
Be phenomenal as always.
All comes your way tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern with College Game Day from Columbus, Ohio, and the noon start with the Buckeyes and the Wolverines. Cincinnati, what a stand after a 17-play drive by Tulsa, and they came up empty on the catch. Josiah DeGara, and that's a 1st down. Oh, now again, stepped out. Geez, what's wrong with me? The 17-yard line, he's dove ahead across the 20. They say his foot stepped out.
Yeah, didn't get the spot. But again, I love the different formations Zach Taylor's coming out with here, spreading around and really throwing it around to multiple different guys.
2nd down and short. And now Tulsa defensively getting in there in this run game here that's been stymied a little bit because of some of the injuries. Tion Green tonight with Deontay Buckley and Taylor Boose. That time Buckley, and just a little bit shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, 3rd down here. Let's see if this Tulsa defense can get off the field. Short huddle for Cincinnati. See if they run it here.
It'll be a sneak by Moore. Nope, they want to pass. Hayden Moore dropping back. Going deep for Devin Gray, and he's got him. Devin Gray outrunning the D. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 83 yards. What is happening with the Bearcats tonight?
I mean, it's just a phenomenal play call. You think they're going to run it. They're a tight formation, quick out of the huddle. Little play action, and Devin Gray, the junior, just a post pattern right down the middle, and he just runs by the safety, Jeremy Brady. It's a mismatch with a safety like Brady on a receiver like Gray. Goes right by him. Excellent throw by Hayden Moore. And again, vertical shot they told us they were going to take. Not only are they taking him tonight, Mike, but they are completing them. Those big plays that they've been missing all season long.
Is this a nothing to lose mentality, or is that something that you probably normally do there, from that area of the field? We know they take shots, but
I think it's a little of both.
Wow. 24-7. Cincinnati on some big pass plays. They've been missing this all season long, but they're getting it here tonight. And a big lead over the Golden Hurricane on the road.
Michigan and Ohio State actually love each other.
Well, we'll see how much love they have tomorrow at noon Eastern on ABC.
Don't think there's much love there.
Can't wait. Michigan, Ohio State. Tommy Tuberville has to love what he's seen here tonight in this game, but also thinking that could we have done this throughout the season as well?
Well, you know, with the issues they had during the season, sometimes you press a little bit. Well, hey, nothing to lose now. Last game of the season, you're not playing for a bowl game. You're playing for your seniors and pride and to get momentum for next year. And, boy, the offense looks outstanding in this first half.
Kickoff from Ryan Jones and Bishop Louis from his 3-yard line for Tulsa. Good head of steam and powers his way across the 30-yard line as we go back to the touchdown. The second one thrown by Hayden Moore tonight for Cincinnati.
Get a great look in the all-22. It's really a bunch formation with an unbalanced right. Look like they're going to run a little play-action pass. They run the 2 verticals. And Devin Gray, just a deep post, and it's a mismatch as he had the safety Jeremy Brady on him. Runs by him, an excellent pass by Hayden Moore, and you see the reaction from Cincinnati. Just, it's kind of like you said, where's it been all year?
Well, they should be fired up. Gray now has 3 catches for 110 yards in that touchdown. Still a lot of time to go in the second quarter. Evans. And his pass is intercepted. It's the second one thrown tonight, and it's by Mike Tyson again. He's got 2 picks in this game, and that's his 5th of the season. And Coach Tuberville and the Bearcats dominating this game early on.
And Mike Tyson's a Sam linebacker, strong side linebacker, but he's 6'2", 200 pounds, so he can really run in space. And that time he's on Kevin Lucas, kind of running stride for stride. You think you have a mismatch if you're Dane Evans, but Mike Tyson can run. He undercuts it, and as you said, second interception on the night, and you see a very happy Tommy Tuberville with his defense and offense really playing their best game of the season.
And that is not Dane Evans for you. That's not what we've seen all season. Unbelievable here tonight. Cincinnati 24-7. They have the ball back at their own 40-yard line. Buckley's in the backfield, and here he goes. And gets close to a first down at midfield. They'll mark him just shy.
You know, I'm looking at my notes from our conversation with offensive coordinator Zach Taylor, and the first one was, you know, average 5 yards a rush. They wanted to do that. Stay on schedule, ahead of the chains. Be creative with your vertical shots, which they've been today, and complete 50% of their passes, which is a lofty goal, but doing a nice job thus far.
No, they certainly are. Buckley needs to get into Tulsa territory for the first. And he has done that. So the chain moves, fresh set of downs. Also, Zach Taylor said about Hayden Moore, he likes watching him throw the ball. He's got natural ability. He's very blessed. He works hard at it. But it just hasn't been an easy year for him.
Well, you talked about the sprained ankle against Houston. You know, they've had to put all 3 quarterbacks in. It hasn't been their year. But, boy, they look pretty good tonight.
Keeper by Moore. And he's going to lose a yard. Good job there by Craig Suits for Tulsa to make the play. 28 in blue.
And you see all the explosive plays Cincinnati's having tonight on offense and the takeaways they're having on defense. They're playing excited. They're in rhythm. Really, Tulsa hasn't done anything to get them going. And you just kind of look flat-footed on their heels in this game thus far.
Cincinnati at 4-7, 1-6 in the American. Tulsa at 8-3, 5-2 in conference play. Tulsa, of course, going to a bowl game. Cincinnati trying to break a 4-game losing streak to end the season with a win. And the pass behind the intended target of Braden Beard that time. Reggie Robinson defending.
Good break on the ball by Robinson that time.
3rd down and 11. Now, this is where they've got to dig in. They made some huge plays here tonight. Can they do it again, Brady?
Well, and this is defensively, this position, you got your cheetah package in there. If you're Tulsa, your speed rushers to get after Hayden Moore to try to get off the field here on 3rd down.
Cincinnati goes 5 wide. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down tonight. And will that change? Do they call it a catch? It's Nate Cole on the reception, and the spot is just inside the 39. Good for the first.
He has a low fastball. Looked like Nate Cole got the hands underneath the ball, got just past the yard to gain for the first down. And that one looks like it's going to stand, Mike, and it's going to be a first down.
Well, I think they're going to take a look at it here. That ball
In the field, of the catch for a first down under further review.
Yeah, I'm with you. That last look we just got, I think Peter Voss, the replay official, is going to get a great look at it there, and it looks like the ball hit and kind of skipped a little bit. Looks like it'll be incomplete. I think they'll overturn this.
It's a 12-yard pass play and a first down if it stands. We had an amazing grab earlier tonight by Kevin Lucas for Tulsa, yet they moved so fast. The ball did touch the ground, we believe, on that catch by Lucas, but he did secure it and had it controlled.
Now, the ball can touch the ground as long as the ground doesn't help you catch it. Look here, ball hits the ground,
right,
and then he secures it. So this is going to be an incomplete pass. I think it's a pretty easy call for Peter Voss in the replay booth.
And that would make it 4th down at 11 from midfield for Cincinnati if they overturned this call, which was ruled a catch and a first down on the field.
Yeah, and that last shot from behind is the best one. It gives you everything you want. And these ones usually take a little time because they already moved the chains. They gave him the first down. So when you reverse it, you got to make sure you spot the ball correctly where it was, move the chains back. It'll be 4th down. And then you got to make sure the clock's correct as well. That's why you see the official standing next to the referee writing everything down. That's the back judge, Victor Firth, right there, writing the little notes being told from the referee, Todd LaPenta.
Well, and if they overturn this and Cincinnati does, in fact, punt the ball, it'll stop a streak of 4 straight possessions where they have scored. They started the game 2 3-and-outs, and then they went touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. So they're certainly on a roll here, on course, up 24-7.
And this is a huge play because if you're Tulsa, you want to break this momentum of Cincinnati. That's a big first down. But again, I think replay will reverse this. They're just getting the spot correct, timing correct, all the things that go with a reversal. Takes a few seconds, but should be 4th down.
Alongside former UMass All-American and NFL running back Rini Ngolia, Mike Corey with you here tonight from Tulsa, Oklahoma, in this final week of the regular season. Hope you had an incredible Thanksgiving yesterday, getting a chance to relax a little bit here. Did you get any Black Friday shopping done here today in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
No, I slept in and I looked at my notes. And
after further review, the ball hit the ground. The ball replaced at the Cincinnati 49.5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 8 minutes and 10 seconds. The game clock will start on the snap.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when the season's not going your way, you're not going to agree with it, but even when he gets a look at it, will say it was an incomplete pass.
They want to continue this little run here. They had a great streak going, and now they have to punt on 4th down and 11. Jarian Anderson awaits the kick, standing at his own 10-yard line. And from the 17-yard line, that is where Tulsa will take over. But it's the Bearcats that are in command here early, 24-7. Coach Tuberville not agreeing with the last call of the incomplete pass, but his group is playing inspired football here tonight on the road in the final game of the season. To the Buckeyes and the Wolverines tomorrow at noon Eastern on ABC. We've got to go through the scenarios here, Rini. What a year it's been for the Big Ten.
It really has. I think arguably the best conference of the year.
Michigan, they need to win to try to keep pace here, secure a spot in the Big Ten championship game. If Ohio State wins and Penn State wins, Penn State's going to the Big Ten title game.
And that's where the committee is going to end up dealing with some chaos, but that's why we love college football.
Brewer on the carry for Tulsa. On the other side, we've got Wisconsin, right, because of the Nebraska loss.
Yeah, so Wisconsin will get a shot. Of course, Wisconsin's 2 losses this year were to Michigan and Ohio State.
Right, by 7 points. One of them in overtime. Brewer again for the Golden Hurricane. Needs to get across the 27-yard line and has done that. First down.
A lot of interesting scenarios at play.
Yes.
Not only in the national level for the 4 to get to the playoff, but of course in the group of 5 as well to get that New Year's 6 bowl bid.
Got to show you some of the scores from today. Big day today in college football, like you said, especially for those other teams there, the Western Michigans, the Boise States, the Houstons of the world. We'll go into that in a little bit.
Yeah, Navy with a big game tomorrow. A lot going on.
First and 10 here for Tulsa, and nothing doing on this run play. Good job to hold up Brewer that time by the combination Eric Wilson and also Zach Edwards.
Yeah, and Eric Wilson, 23 for Cincinnati, has had a phenomenal year, Mike. 116 tackles on the year coming into this game, and he's that middle linebacker that just fills the hole, reads it, reacts, comes up and hits you. Outstanding year for the senior from Redford, Michigan.
Yeah, 2 straight years in a row. Had over 100 tackles last season as well. Evans on second down with time, and now it breaks down, and Evans is taken down from behind by Caleb Ashworth.
And that's a coverage sack. Excellent job in the back end by Cincinnati. Dane Evans nowhere to go. Great effort by Caleb Ashworth to stay with it and get the sack.
3rd down and 9. Talk about the good coverage downfield by Cincinnati. Let's see here now with a 4 wide receiver set, and Brewer is in the backfield. Has it been that the case here today with a great defense that Cincinnati's had in the back end?
Yeah, I really think it has. It's been Cincinnati's outstanding play tonight.
And they try to go over the middle for Johnson, and there is no flags down. Incomplete. Punt time for Tulsa.
You know, it's easy to say Tulsa has sputtered tonight, but you got to give credit to the Cincinnati defense because they're making them sputter. They're playing great on the back end. They're getting pressure on Dane Evans, and they're just playing excellent football. And I think that's a good no call there. Little contact, but I don't think enough to draw a flag by the linebacker Perry Young there as the receiver came across the middle.
Yeah, the true freshman there with a defensive play. Evans is just 5 of 10 passing for Tulsa for 65 yards tonight. Easily the least amount he's had in the first half this season. And it's picked up by Beard for Cincinnati, and they'll have pretty good field position here to start. On top 24-7 as we come up on 5.5 to play in this first half. It's been all Bearcats here tonight, and they are thrilled with the way they have played both sides of the ball, clicking for Cincy in this one. Coming up at the half, and they'll have a lot to talk about here tonight on the halftime report. Big win from Memphis over Houston. Houston's beaten 2 top 5 teams this year in Oklahoma and Louisville, and falling their 3rd game of the season today. And look at all the other stuff going on as well in the group of 5.
Well, Air Force, we had them a few weeks ago, Mike. We know what kind of running attack they have. That Memphis win, listen, shows you how strong I really believe the American Conference has been this year from top to bottom. And Western Michigan just keeps winning undefeated.
Incomplete pass there to Thomas Geddes, and that's the thing. Now, Western Michigan right now ranked number 21 with the loss for Boise, the loss for Houston. I think what you like as well is that Navy is a wild card.
Yeah, I think Navy's what Western Michigan has to watch out for, with Navy jumping them with 3 games left if they run the table. I really think that'll happen if Navy goes 3-0 and finishes the season out as American Conference champions.
Taylor Boose on the carry and gets to the 40-yard line. Navy's at SMU tomorrow.
Interesting, I talked to Bill Hancock, executive director of the College Football Playoff, and he told me if Navy is in it at the end, the committee can elect to wait 1 week past December 4th to decide that group of 5 spot.
Tulsa looks like they're bringing some pressure here on 3rd and 5. Here they come. Moore gets it out quickly. It's incomplete. Linscott on coverage intended for Avery Johnson, and it's 4th down.
A good job by Linscott to run, but that's a catch Avery Johnson has to make. Linscott never turned around and played the ball. Just let it get in, didn't get it in there with his hands. If he makes that catch, he picks up the 1st down and continues that drive.
Sam Geraci. And the 16-yard line is where Tulsa will start. And we've got the rankings coming out on Tuesday, coming up for our next installment of the College Football Playoff rankings. And it's going to come down to tomorrow's game, obviously, with Ohio State and Michigan. And one of those coaches,
we could have like a pop-off. One of those coaches is going to fall off tomorrow, whether it's Urban Meyer So we'll see what happens, or Jim Harbaugh. And Tuesday we'll see the committee come out with their rankings.
New rankings, 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Here's a look at the top 5 right now. So Alabama just playing so strong, of course. We know Ohio State, Michigan, something's going to happen there. Clemson, Washington with a big win today. I think everybody thought they were trailing off. Not the case.
And South Carolina, who Clemson plays, don't sleep on that game. They've quietly had a nice year under Will Muschamp, going to a bowl game. So that's going to be it might be a tough one for Clemson as well.
First catch of the night here made by Josh Atkinson. We talked about it earlier. He's about 169 yards away from getting the 1,000 on the season. That's his first grab tonight. And they go back to the ground, and a first down run for Tulsa. You looked at the second half of the top 10 there. Still a lot of football left to be played, right?
Wisconsin and Penn State are those wild cards, and then you have the Big 12 after that with Oklahoma, Colorado, Oklahoma State.
Flanders across the 35-yard line here for Tulsa. What does the Golden Hurricane have to do here in this first half? They're going to get the second half kickoff, Rainey, so it's imperative here on this drive to try to get some points, right?
Yeah, I think get their pace going. This offense runs better when they're going fast, but to go fast, you got to get some productive plays on first down, stay ahead of the chains.
Flanders, again, not doing too much, and they have to be weary of the fact that this is a different Cincinnati team here tonight, the way they are playing. So you almost can't get in your mind like, oh, that's okay. We'll score a ton of points in the second half. It might not be that easy.
Well, they have nothing to lose, Cincinnati, and that defensive front is very good. And Tulsa knew that coming into this game, and they're showing it tonight, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Flanders has 67 yards rushing on 14 carries right now. It's a 3rd down and 4. For Tulsa.
And we haven't seen any vertical shots down the field for Tulsa. Contrary, we've seen a ton for Cincinnati.
Evans in the crossing route for Lucas and makes a special grab there before the 45. Nice touch pass, and Lucas, some solid hands for that guy.
Well, you're right. Solid catch, good strength, because Mike Tyson was all over him, but Lucas still makes the catch to move the chains.
Now burst up the middle by Flanders. That's a gain of 8. They've done such a nice job this season of managing clock here, too. I think they want to try to control this clock for the remainder of this first half. Doesn't it seem like that? Short passes to the outside here. Keenan Johnson, first down.
Yeah, ideally, if you're Philip Montgomery, you control the pace here. You go down, score a touchdown. Don't give Cincinnati any time to counter and get it to the house 24-7, 24-14, and just kind of regroup for the second half.
Flanders again, steady dose of him. James Flanders has 6 100-yard rushing games this season. He's always got a smile on his face. One of the most fun guys to be around with this group for Tulsa this year.
And having a great year, and it's nice to see the 5th-year senior end his career with a great season that he's having.
Johnson again on the catch, and they like to go on that side for him, and Keenan Johnson. You think about the future of Tulsa in the wide receiver group. He is it, along with Justin Hobbs, at least the two that have gained the most experience this year. Talking about number 8 and 29 for Tulsa. Haven't heard from Hobbs yet tonight as Flanders again on the first down run. Clock is now inside of 2 minutes. And Tulsa still has all 3 of their timeouts remaining as well.
And if you notice, Cincinnati on defense doing a nice job subbing when they get a chance to get fresh bodies in there up front defensively. So they're really playing a lights-out defensive game. 3 takeaways in this first half already for them.
Evans finds Lucas again on the cross. First down inside the 20, back inside the red zone. That's a gain of 11.
And again, just an inside slant for Kevin Lucas. Nice ball by Dayton Evans to put it on him to pick up the first down.
And now Cincinnati calls timeout, their first.
Charge. Timeout. Cincinnati.
Evans with 5 straight completions right now for Tulsa on this drive.
Yeah, it's an important series defensively for Cincinnati. They would love to, at the very least, or worst, I should say, hold Tulsa to a field goal attempt here and get into the house up by 2 scores. And then obviously, if you're Tulsa, boy, finish this drive off with a touchdown, get it to 10, and then kind of regroup at halftime.
Nothing is given for this Tulsa offense here tonight. They had a 17-play drive, Rainey, that ended in no points. Got 67 yards down the field, got stopped on 4th down. This is the 12th play of this drive coming here now.
And really, a stop on 4th down, Mike, if you're a defensive coordinator, that's as good as a takeaway. So they stopped them on 4th down. We saw the 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery. Really, the defense for Cincinnati is playing some pretty good football.
They split out Atkinson and Johnson to the top of the screen, and it's Lucas and Hobbs at the bottom with Flanders in the backfield. Flanders, and nothing happening there as Eric Wilson, the first on the scene, on another tackle for Cincy.
We talked about Eric Wilson. I mean, he just sits there in that middle linebacker spot, and if you don't come out and put a hat on him as an offensive lineman, he's going to shoot through that gap and make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he did it again right there.
Playmaker on defense, led the team 12 tackles last game at a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, and he puts them in a 2nd down and 10 spot here with under a minute to play in the first half. Evans. And well over the head of Lucas, and pressure was coming in by Kevin Muhan that time for Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, he felt Muhan coming from his right side, and there's no doubt Dane Evans just launched that, threw that one away to live for 3rd down here.
Got a good field goal kicker in Redford Jones, so of course always an option here to try to make it a 2-possession ball game.
And obviously plenty of time left, 49 seconds. You got all 3 timeouts. You got the entire field to you here. 3rd and 9 is a tough down and distance.
Need to try to come up with some points here on this drive if you're Tulsa. Get the ball to start the second half as well. Evans for Lucas to the end zone. Lucas! Touchdown! Kevin Lucas and the Golden Hurricane. What a grab!
When we look at this reception again by Kevin Lucas, Mike, I want you to notice his left hand. He doesn't interfere, but he just kind of wards off Mike Tyson just ever so much to separate. Dane Evans throws a beautiful pass in there, and Lucas goes up and makes the touchdown catch.
Flags are thrown, Rainey, and speaking of separation, they had to break apart the 2 teams there, and Tyson thought he had part of that ball. Ty goes to the offensive player, though, so Tyson almost with his 3rd pick of the game. Lucas says, no, I've got the touchdown, and now let's see what Todd LaPenta and the crew have to say about all this.
Yeah, you got to sort it out. A lot of extracurricular activities. We saw a cameraman take a shot down there as well, so a lot of stuff going on in the corner of the end zone, but the one thing I am for certain is that Kevin Lucas made a nice touchdown catch.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense. Number 10, distancing out penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. This is the first unsportsmanlike conduct foul for number 10 in the football game.
All right, so they call it on Alex Thomas, one of the secondary players after the play.
Yeah, and again, good separation by Kevin Lucas. Goes up, makes the catch. You kind of said it, Ty, like in baseball, Ty goes to a runner. Well, Ty goes to a receiver. He clearly makes the catch, gets 2 feet in bounds, and it's a touchdown. You notice he said that's Alex Thomas's first unsportsmanlike conduct. Of course, if you get 2, you reject it.
Tulsa converting on that red zone opportunity there. That's a 17-yard touchdown pass on their 50th play of the half. They've had the ball for quite some time, and they've drove down the field, and they've got to be surprised themselves with only having 14 points right now, but they're back in it, down by only 10.
I mean, credit the Cincinnati defense, but that was an important drive by Tulsa to get some momentum going into half.
Still 43 seconds to play in this first half here tonight on senior night for this Tulsa group. 18 seniors, one of them right there with Dane Evans on the touchdown pass. And how many times have they hooked up over their career there with Evans to Lucas? A lot of fans and people around Tulsa are going to be sad when those 2 graduate at the end of this season.
Oh, it has. It's been an outstanding combination for years here, and you're right. I mean, a lot of productivity Coach Philip Montgomery is going to lose, but listen, that's what recruiting's about. You get out there, you get young guys, and he's done a nice job changing the culture here, and 8-3 going into this game and having an excellent season for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Now Tulsa's playing for a chance really for them just to kind of get to the best bowl game possible. They win this ball game, they're going to go to 9-3 and 6-2 in the American. They have no chance to be in the American Championship game, Reedy, but still a lot on the line for them here tonight. And after the penalty, that kickoff almost into the stands.
Yeah, and it's Alex Thomas who got the penalty. Top left part of the screen, Mike. You're going to see number 10 come in and kind of start hitting on the helmet. Going to come in late, a little knock on the helmet. And you know what? You can't really do that in front of the official because it's unsportsmanlike.
A lot of melee there.
Yeah, and not really sure, why he was knocking on his helmet, but do it in front of the officials. They're going to call it. Wasn't, egregious. He didn't punch a guy and get thrown out, but nonetheless, knocked on the helmet and got a penalty.
Ball to 25 after the touchback, and now let's see what Cincinnati can do. They still have their 2 timeouts remaining. You get a couple plays here, you never know, and that's Buckley on the run that time.
And you want to be careful. You don't want a catastrophic error here with a turnover and let Tulsa score some more points. So I think what you do is you run the ball. If you can break it, then you use your timeout. Otherwise, I think if you're Cincinnati, you're content going in the locker room up by 10.
I would agree with you, but they've taken some shots in this game.
Have.
I mean,
well, right now, they feel like, hey,
why
we're in
not?
this game, we can win it. And they just don't want to make a big error here. And, I tend to agree with that.
And they will keep it on the ground, and Buckley able to get across the 40-yard line. That's pretty much going to do what you would think with this first half. But Cincinnati has come out really strong here tonight with the way they've played. Some trick plays, some big-time passes. Hayden Moore's played well at the QB spot. And Thomas Geddes with a touchdown catch. He's played well. And Tulsa's going to receive the second half kickoff, but it's a Cincinnati advantage. Look at this. 26 points the last 4 games. They've got 24 already here tonight in the first half.
Listen, takeaways on defense, and then they've put them into points offensively. A great night for them thus far.
After the break, Adnan Verk, Denny Cannell, and Jonathan Vilma in the studio right after this with a halftime report. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Here tonight from Tulsa, Oklahoma, senior night for the Golden Hurricane as they trail it by 10 at the half to Cincinnati, 24-14. Mike Corey and Reedy Ngolia getting you ready for the start of this second half. But first to the first half highlights we go, and it was all Cincinnati here right from the start, Reedy. They got some big plays and were able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the fumble by James Flanders for Tulsa, and Cincinnati capitalizes on it as they go to their young freshman Thomas Geddes, who came out of his shell in this first half. Another big pass play to Devin Gray, and boy, that Cincinnati offense was clicking on all cylinders.
Well, yes, they were, and they got some big plays by those guys, and that's what they missed all season long with the big plays. How about the trick plays, too?
Yeah, I love it. Moore to the tight end Cogswell, back to Moore with a convoy in front of him with that offensive line.
Tulsa able to respond with a couple of touchdowns in this first half. A big one here by Kevin Lucas, fighting off Mike Tyson for it. But they trail by 10 as we enter the second half.
That was a big score for Tulsa to end that first half to get some momentum coming into the second half.
And Tulsa gets the ball to start the second half. As Bishop Louis just outside of his own goal line on the return has a nice hole up the middle. And gets a block and is tripped up to the 35-yard line. First half stats, and Cincinnati, a team that has had a bunch of takeaways this season. The problem is they have given them back. Well, they didn't do that so far in this first half.
You see the forced turnovers by Cincinnati 3. They got 14 points off it. And don't forget, they stopped Tulsa down at the goal line on 4th down. That's as good as a takeaway. So really 4 takeaways in that first half for Cincinnati.
0 for 5 in the third down conversions, though, and there was one play where they had a catch that got overturned.
Reversed, yeah.
That was very upsetting to head coach Tommy Tuberville because they had 4 straight possessions where they scored points.
But it was the right call.
It was. Nothing happening here on first down. And how about on the ground here tonight? I mean, coming off the heels of the 167 rushing yards with Flanders and Brewer, as that was Flanders that time. You know, they've pretty much been held in check here in this ball game.
You know, statistically, they've had a good night running the ball. You know, 141 yards, but just not those big plays that we're used to seeing and those explosives.
I think that's where you're right. And there's Flanders now in a big gash up the middle. That's going to be a first down run. That's a good point, because actually I look at the numbers and I say it's really all not that bad, but I think we're used to seeing them gash defenses on 20, 30, 40-yard runs.
Correct. And then all of a sudden, boom, that home run, that 60-yard run that they've done time and time again. Just haven't done it yet tonight in this game.
Eric Wilson is the injured player down for Cincinnati.
And that is one player that Cincinnati cannot afford to lose.
We'll step aside just 51 seconds into this second half. So he's okay. Pretty much ran off the field. He's going to stay out for a play.
Yeah, he looks fine. I think he's going to be back in here, as you said, after this play.
1st and 10 for Tulsa. And Flanders gets to midfield and just across it. And Wilson comes back in.
And it's important for the Tulsa offense to get 4 or 5 yards on first down. That's staying ahead of your chains, and that opens them up.
Evans guns it, and that's Justin Hobbs on his first catch tonight. Good for the first down, and Hobbs will have a few more years to go. The sophomore out of Overland Park, Kansas, the 3rd leading receiver for this team.
And that was a little crossing route as Lucas went outside, Hobbs came inside, and they've had some success on those slant patterns tonight.
And another injured player down for Cincinnati here to begin the second half.
And it's really just been one of those years, Mike, that Cincinnati just, you know, it's unbelievable for them. They've had so many injuries, and they just, you know, don't know why. It's just one of those years.
Well, there's Alex Thomas, who is banged up. He was called for that personal foul at the end of the half on that touchdown pass. So Thomas is being attended to. And that's the thing. With all the things that have happened this year, you have your new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator for Cincinnati. They lost 6 wide receivers to graduation. They've had some injuries in the offensive line, the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks. We've had 3 of them this season for them, so it's been tough.
And that's a tough thing, too. You mentioned it. You know, offensive coordinator Eddie Grand left to go to Kentucky in the SEC, so you bring in Zach Taylor, and then he's dealing with all these injuries. He's trying to tweak the offense, putting his touch on it, and it's just been an unbelievable year for them, but looking pretty good tonight.
And hasn't had a tremendous amount of help on the offensive side with, you know, not getting the big shots downfield and guys in and out of the lineup. It's been tough. Tonight, though, they're making some plays, especially offensively. Antonio Kennard here on the tackle on the run by Flanders. And with a 10-point advantage, you got to be weary the way this Tulsa team is able to score and do it quickly. Flanders is over 100 yards rushing tonight. And right back to him, a burst up the middle. Gets by multiple defenders, takes a hit, and gets down close to the 10.
And that's what James Flanders does best. He's a downhill runner, great forward lean, runs behind his pads, and you need to wrap him up. And you're going to see Mike Tyson 5 come in, just kind of shoulder hit him as he falls forward. He now has 130 yards rushing on the game.
Look at him scoot right through there, and he does it again. Flanders down to the 1-yard line. He is now over 2,000 rushing yards for his career. He joins Brewer for that mark, and why not? They've both been inseparable, 1 and 2 throughout this entire season. Right back to Flanders, and this time held up. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Caleb Ashworth was in there for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Ashworth got really low, and that's how you stop a back like Flanders. Get in there, tackle him low, stop that momentum, let your teammates come to wrap him up and hold him short.
Already has the 5-yard touchdown run earlier, one of the 2 touchdowns by Tulsa tonight. Evans guns it, and it is caught, and it's Hobbs. He's in. Touchdown.
Well, that's a couple times tonight that Tulsa receivers have kind of been tussling with the ball with Mike Tyson, the outside linebacker, for Cincinnati, and Hobbs does a nice job fighting away and really looked like he was being held, not only double team, looked like Tyson might have been holding him as well, but boy, Dane Evans throws it in there, has confidence that Justin Hobbs can make the catch. He does, and then he fights his way in for the touchdown.
And there's a sandwich there in between with Tyson and Lyndon Stevens, the two defenders kind of converging there, and Hobbs able to make the touchdown grab for his 4th of the season.
Well, Stevens did a nice job from that corner spot to read it and come off his guy, so it looked like double coverage, but boy, Hobbs just fought for it harder, made the catch, and a big score for Tulsa.
And just like that, they are within 3.
Playoff.
Looking forward to it. The new rankings come out on Tuesday, and we are in tune for what's going to be a special postseason.
Well, we know there's going to be some changes with Ohio State and Michigan playing, and just a lot of great games this weekend.
That is tomorrow at 12 noon. Here we've got a good one. It's a 3-point ball game. Cincinnati's lead has been trimmed to 3 with just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Just over 3 minutes into the third quarter, I should say, and a big kickoff here off the leg of Redford Jones. And it is tomorrow at noon Eastern. Well, we'll get ready for the game in the shoe in Columbus. Number 3 Michigan, number 2 Ohio State, and that's where game day is, live at 7 a.m. Eastern. A 5-hour pregame tomorrow.
Yeah, and they'll have plenty of time to break down all the scenarios that the college football playoff committee is probably going to face on Tuesday, and everything from the 4 to the group of 5 and everything in between.
Tion Green starts in the backfield here for Cincinnati on this set, and he splits out as Moore's pass is caught by Gray and run out of bounds by Kerwin Thomas, gain of 5. We're thinking back to some of the things for Cincinnati this year that's led to this 4-7 campaign, 1-6 in the American. How about they're redshirting 19 of their 23 signees from the class this season?
Yeah, I mean, they're excited with what they have coming next year, and some of those guys probably could have helped them this year, but I think it was wise, Coach Tuberville, to redshirt them, get them ready for next year, and really build this thing from the ground up.
Ball was on the turf. It went to Buckley. Cincinnati, of course, saying they've got it back, and let's see if the officials agree. They do. Buckley, I think, got his fumble back himself.
Yeah, big hit, though, on Buckley to jar this ball loose. Did a nice job fighting back to getting it, and it's Trent Martin, the middle linebacker, 50-year senior. Excellent job putting his head on the ball to knock it loose.
And now this crowd coming alive here as Cincinnati is 0 for 5 on third down tonight. Golden Hurricane would like to keep it that way, and they do. And off the hands of Gray, and then it was DJ Dowdy, the senior tight end, that almost had a chance at it for the Bearcats.
And that was one of the first balls tonight that we've seen Hayden Moore kind of sailed on him.
Mm-hmm. And there was that stretch there in that first half where Cincinnati went touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, and now it has cooled off here quite a bit as they have to punt yet again. Anderson and wanted to try to return it, and Cincinnati says no way. Eric Wilson and Malik Clements were down there on coverage.
Well, excellent coverage by Tulsa. Two guys had a chance with it for Cincinnati, but it falls incomplete. Tulsa's ball on the other side. Explosive they are offensively, and it all starts with that running game. James Flander got it going on that series. A good mix of run and pass. Good job up front by that offensive line, and the payoff touchdown by Justin Hobbs, the big receiver out of Overland Park, Kansas.
They've had 3 scoring drives tonight, Reedy, and only 1 have been under 2 minutes. That's normally their staple. They had 5 drives last week. You and I were at UCF, and they were all under 2 minutes, so they're taking a little bit more time here in this one as Brewer carries and a host of Cincinnati tacklers with him across the 35.
Yeah, and Cincinnati just got a dose of James Flanders on that last series. Now they're going to get his partner in crime, D'Angelo Brewer.
Think about some of the numbers that these two have had this season. A career-high 252 yards versus Fresno State. Tied a school record 46 carries in that big come-from-behind win. Evans's pass, the feet of Lucas, third down. And then he got Flanders in a game that you and I did versus Memphis. He had a 249-yard rushing effort with a school record 5 touchdowns.
To put in perspective how good of a year James Flanders has had, Mike, tonight was his 7th 100-yard game of the season. He's only had 8 in his career, and he's had 7 of them this season. That's how good he's played his senior year.
And Cincinnati showed some pressure, and Tulsa looks back to the sideline. 3rd and 4 for the Golden Hurricane. Evans tries to get rid of it quickly and off the hands of Atkinson and nearly picked. Grant Coleman had the best chance at it for Cincinnati. Tulsa has to punt this one away.
Well, Cincinnati sent pressure at Dane Evans that time. They did their little crossing route on the outside and just could not connect for the completion.
If anything, at times, the Cincinnati defenses got Tulsa out of their rhythm a little bit.
I would agree with that, and really they've done it with their defensive front. They've gotten good push up front and kind of gotten Dane Evans out of rhythm, and it's been more than once tonight that they've done that.
Dalton Parks pulled the Charlie Brown there for a second as he was practicing the kick. Fell on his backside. You ever had any golf shots like this, Rennie? You know, where you're waiting for your partner to swing the club and you think he's going to hit and he whiffs on it?
It's happened a few times. Let's take a look. The little practice is going to take a little fall. Well, I have to say, if I was that flexible and my leg could go up that far, I'd probably fall too.
Right. Joke's on us, really.
Yeah.
He's laughing at everybody.
It might have been those gold shoes. I think he's a little fancy.
Parks has had an incredible season.
At least he can laugh about it.
Yes. He's another former walk-on. Holds a school record for punts and yardage. And Dalton Parks, the punter for Tulsa. And you can't underestimate the special teams and how special that's been for the Golden Hurricane as well. Moore takes off and is tripped up after a gain of just 2. Now, they don't get enough credit, but when you can consistently think that your place kicker is going to knock down the extra points, get you some field goals if you can't continue and finish a drive, and your punter's going to change field position, that's monumental.
Yeah, no, it's huge. A good punter, boy, to flip the field, it means so much to your team.
Green in motion, a little bit of movement there on the defense for Tulsa as Moore dives over for a few, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3.
And they're just trying to manufacture runs. You know, we've seen Hayden Moore with a few called quarterback draws. They wanted to average 5 yards per rush. Really not even close to that tonight.
They need to try to pick up a 3rd down conversion. That's what has eluded them tonight. 0 for 6. Moore with some time, goes over the top of Thomas, and the catch is made by Gray. Devin Gray for 28 yards, and he dropped it right over the top of the cornerback, Kerwin Thomas.
I mean, you won't see a better pass. Hayden Moore, if you ran this down and handed it to Devin Gray, it couldn't have been any better. I mean, that's a perfect pass. Great coverage by Kerwin Thomas, but Hayden Moore, as you said, drops it in the bucket perfectly.
I was going to say he was right there for it, and now Thomas able to make a deflection on a low pass.
That pass is the only pass that would be completed. It's perfect, set in there by Hayden Moore. Again, excellent coverage by Kerwin Thomas, but in stride to Devin Gray, dropped it right in there for the completion.
I mean, what else does Thomas have to do? I mean, he'd get a hand up too. He just didn't time it right. Gray's got 143 yards receiving on 5 catches with a touchdown tonight. Here's Tion Green, and he's tripped up by Jordan Mitchell. Now, Green is their power back, senior. This is his last game of his career from Sanford, Florida. Over 700 yards rushing on the season with a couple of touchdowns. And then the thing with him is he's had his running mate in Mike Boone, but he's hurt, not available in this game, and they've struggled this season, both of them.
Well, that's that 1-2 punch right there, and without one of them, it hurts.
And now here's a nice catch, and down to the 20-yard line is going to be Green and brought down by Linscott.
And I'm sure Cincinnati's going to go for it with the season they're having. That's what Tion Green does right there. The screen Looks like he's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, strong enough to break out of it and almost catch it for the first down.
Remember, Green is wearing 23 tonight. And for Isaiah Pede, a former running back for Cincinnati. That's Tion Green, the running back for Cincy, and they're going to go with a direct snap to him, and he fakes a little toss out to Moore on this 4th down play. And Tulsa saying they've stopped him. Let's see.
And I think they did, Mike. Trent Martin, the middle linebacker, met Tion Green in the hole, was holding him up before his teammates could get there and help, and it was just mano-a-mano. Trent Martin, 40, versus Tion Green, number 23, holds him up, and it's just a fight. And you see, as Green goes down, his butt hits the ground. The ball is not to the 20. That's where he needed to get. So even if replay looks at this play is going to stand.
And so Cincinnati had a 4th down stop earlier, and now Tulsa's able to come up with one here in this 3rd quarter. And now they'll go to the ground. Tulsa will to Brewer and pick up short yardage on 1st down. A little confusing there as you look at Green, who is wearing the Isaiah Pede jersey, the former running back for Cincinnati.
I think a lot of people were confused.
Right. Like, how many times is Mike going to call him Green? And I see Pede on the back of the jersey. Here's Brewer. No mistaking who he is, and he gets across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down run. This crowd is now re-energized here tonight in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I mean, and that's what Tulsa does. You vintage Tulsa. They hit you with the downhill runner, James Flanders, and then they come back with D'Angelo Brewer, who a little more shake and bake to get through there to make the plays.
And now Evans takes a shot. Kevin Lucas, and overthrown. Coverage racing back there that time was Grant Coleman and Carter Jacobs.
And Lucas had a step right there, and Evans aired that out just a little too far for Kevin Lucas.
It's danger time right now if you're Cincinnati, right? They've had this lead, big lead early, 24-7. Touchdown Tulsa before the half. Touchdown to start the 3rd quarter here. Momentum on their side right now. And Brewer. And taken down by Eric Wilson.
Yeah, and good thing Eric Wilson got there, because if not, D'Angelo Brewer was coming out the other side with a big gain there.
And he's shaken up. And he's up and at him. Let's see if they give him a breather. They will. Flanders is going to come in for Brewer. And remember, there's more football to be played here for Tulsa. This is their final game of the regular season, but they're going to a bowl game. All depends which one, trying to finish the year at 9-3 and 6-2 in the American. If they do, they'll have won 5 of their last 6. Third down play from midfield. Evans again going deep. Lucas relocates and couldn't quite grab it. Backpedaling, tough play. Had a chance at it, had his hands on it there, Reedy. And Chris Murphy a little late getting back for Cincy.
Well, he had Murphy beat. There's no doubt. And this is a ball that Kevin Lucas usually comes back and makes the catch. A little contact, not enough there for pass interference. And I tell you what, if you ask Kevin Lucas, Mike, he'll tell you, I got to make that catch.
Last week when we were at UCF, he had a couple of drops, very uncharacteristic of him. Dane Evans went over to talk to him on the sidelines and said, hey, we need you. It's going to be okay. Next series to come back out, big touchdown pass, or Lucas is backpedaling in the end zone for a score.
And that's what leaders do. Dane Evans knew he had to talk to his wide receiver, and it paid off.
And Cincinnati will start deep in their own territory when we come back. Still 5.5 to play in the 3rd, and the Bearcats hanging on to a 3-point lead. After Arizona State, Arizona, Sports Center at night on ESPN. Kenny Mayne, Nicole Briscoe. They've got a huge plate of leftovers here with a lot of action today, especially in college football and college basketball, NBA, NHL, everything happening tonight. And they'll have it for you with Sports Center at night after Arizona State, Arizona.
That's a good one. Our colleagues Dave Lamont and Ray Bentley will have that call. Arizona State, Arizona.
Well, we've got a good one here tonight with a 3-point ball game in Cincinnati and Tulsa out of the American Athletic Conference. As it's Tion Green with this carry in the first play in this series, starting from the 13-yard line is Cincinnati. Picks up 6. Remember wearing the jersey, Isaiah Peed, former running back for the Bearcats. Over 3,000-yard rusher, got injured in a car accident. He's playing in the NFL as Green honoring him and running hard to the 30 for a first down.
Yeah, the senior, as you said, Mike, out of Sanford, Florida, just outside of Orlando, Lake Brantley High School. He's a big boy, 6 foot, 230 pounds, and when he turns a corner and squares those shoulders up, he's a load to bring down.
Play fake here by Hayden Moore. Taking another shot, got a man open, Jerron Rollins. He has it. Needs to outrun 3 Tulsa defenders. Rollins will do just that. Touchdown, Bearcats. 70 yards. And the big play strikeability from Cincinnati has come out in this game tonight.
And another true freshman, Jerron Rollins out of Miami, Florida. Just a 9 route down the sideline. No one covers him for Tulsa. He runs right by, makes the catch, and then the speed to get to the corner and outrun the defenders of Tulsa. And again, another home run for Cincinnati tonight.
How many Cincinnati fans out there right now are watching this saying,
where has this been?
Right. That all of a sudden you can just do it. You almost understand, like in late stages of games when defenses are playing off of you and all of a sudden you start making plays. Well, where was this all game? It's like, well, they're playing prevent defense. I don't think Tulsa's doing anything different.
And how many Tulsa fans are out there saying, how many times are you going to let them run by you? Because that was like the 3rd or 4th time tonight that they've hit a home run on a vertical shot.
Over 300 yards passing by Hayden Moore tonight. Let's break this down. What happened here?
Good route by Rollins. Good protection up front. Hayden Moore just puts it out there where his young receiver can go get it, and then just outruns the Tulsa secondary to the end zone. I mean, that's some celebration that is long overdue for this Cincinnati offense. We talked about their struggles the past few games scoring, but virtual explosion for them with 31 points tonight.
Listen to this. Thomas Geddes, a true freshman, a 38-yard touchdown reception earlier. Devin Gray, one of their star wideouts, a junior, an 82-yard touchdown. And then Jerron Rollins, the true freshman we just saw, a 70-yard touchdown reception. That's incredible.
And we've seen a couple big receptions that didn't result in touchdowns. So vertical shot after vertical shot they are taking. And listen, Zach Taylor told us he was going to do that when we spoke with him this week, and he hasn't disappointed.
And how about Cincinnati giving their faithful something to really look forward to next year? All those players are coming back. And the fair catch called for at the 25-yard line, made by Tulsa's Rob Reeder. They've just called all the right plays here tonight.
Well, and it's just going downfield, taking those shots, nothing to lose. Hayden Moore to Thomas Geddes, Devin Gray. Geddes again, a little trickeration. I mean, they've really done it all tonight, Mike. A good mixture. Haven't gotten the run game the way they wanted to tonight, but boy, when you get the passing game going the way you have behind Hayden Moore, boy, you're rolling pretty good.
It was Cogwell on that tight end pass back to Moore. You mentioned Gray, Geddes, and here's Rollins for the touchdown, and Cincinnati extends the advantage back to 10.
Yeah, so future looks promising. Couple true freshmen stepping up tonight. We talked about the players they've redshirted, so they got some good skill athletes coming back next year.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of Cincinnati, it's okay. You don't have to go off the deep end of what's happened this season, because we've seen it here just in this game, and the fact that you've also got your offensive coordinator now, and Zach Taylor has a year under his belt. Defensive coordinators Robert Prunty and Jeff Coons. Tommy Tuberville, they've had so much go against them this season. You get their full complement of players back. A lot of players that were redshirting. Look out for Cincinnati come 2017. Flanders on this carry for Tulsa. 4.5 remaining in this third quarter. They're back down by 10. Evans guns it. Nice catch, Hobbs. First down to the 30-yard line.
Hobbs had a quiet first half, but boy, making some catches here in the second half, and he's a young receiver for Tulsa. Big-bodied receiver, 6'4", 207 pounds, only a sophomore.
Pick up of 14 yards. And he's had a stellar career here so far, just as you said, a sophomore, over 1,200 yards receiving, and they're going to have a lot to look forward to with him next year. Flanders again. You know, and he asked Coach Montgomery about James Flanders, and he said that, you know, he felt like he was going to have a really good year, but I don't think he expected as much as he's done for this team, the way he's run and the numbers that he's put up.
No, they didn't envision that. They were hoping for it. They didn't envision it. And, but boy, what a pleasant surprise for Coach Montgomery this season with the running of James Flanders.
Getting good blocking up front there, too, as well. And got to credit the tight end. You see number 6, Chris Minter, out in front a bunch of times as well as he's lined up there in the backfield.
He doesn't catch a lot of passes, but a very good blocker.
That's a sophomore. He'll be back out of Temple, Texas. And this time they're right on him, and that's Kennard, who makes the play on a first down run. Antonio Kennard is his final game of his career at the weak side linebacker spot for Cincinnati. Very special. He was moved to middle linebacker and third on the team in tackles this season with over 80.
Yeah, nice job filling. And obviously there's going to be emotions running high for these guys. Seniors, for most of them, it's the last time they're going to strap it up and play. And I know it hit you like a ton of bricks.
Second down, Evans, and the back shoulder finds Atkinson. And we came into this game mentioning what Atkinson needed to get to 1,000 yards receiving because they've got a big number that they're trying to reach. He hasn't been involved too much tonight, though.
And it was decent coverage by Lyndon Stevens, but as you said, back shoulder pass, give Atkinson a chance to go make that catch behind him, and he does it.
Only his second grab tonight is to go back to Brewer. Under 2 minutes to play in the third. This is the most that I've seen Tulsa look back and take their time on offense this season.
The slowest we've seen them go.
Right. Evans. Lucas! How many amazing catches is he going to make? Does it again.
And give Dane Evans credit, Mike. They blitzed Carter Jacobs, the safety. Evans knew he was coming. He saw him, stepped up and delivered the ball, and Kevin Lucas goes up and makes another great catch.
So acrobatic as Brewer, after a 27-yard pickup, stonewalled by Kennard and Copeland.
You know, Kevin Lucas only 5'10", but boy, he can climb the ladder, get up there and high point the ball, and he does it right here. Great concentration.
Spectacular. His 8th catch of the night. Good for 120 yards. His 11th career game, over 100 yards receiving. Putting on a show here for the fans in his final home game in his career. Flanders now. And stopped at the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal upcoming with under 30 seconds to play in the third.
And it would be huge for the Cincinnati defense if they can hold Tulsa to a field goal here as we approach the fourth quarter.
Well, no doubt. Let's see. Flanders in the backfield. You got Hobbs at the top of the screen. Lucas in the slot with Atkinson. Evans. And they are going to stop him. And they'll drop him for a loss of a couple that time as Chris Burton was in there. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter, and it'll be 4th and goal for Tulsa when we come back.
Well, the Cincinnati defense did what they needed to do, stop them, force them to a field goal attempt here.
Exciting action in the third quarter as well. Cincinnati maintaining their lead, extending it back up to 10. Tulsa with a fight on their hands here tonight at home. Not what they expected. We'll be back with the fourth after this. Cincinnati as we head to the fourth. Mike Corey and Rini Ngolia. Field goal opportunity now for Tulsa after being stopped just outside the 5-yard line. So here's Redford Jones. And the fourth quarter begins with him getting it through, and not the way he would have liked. A little unconventional, but it's 24-yard. Tommy Tuberville's on the field, on the turf. You can't believe it.
I mean, you should get 4 points for that. You hit both, you hit both uprights, and it still goes in, and it's just unbelievable. He hooks it.
Look at that.
Hits the left upright, caroms over to the right one, and makes it in. But you know what? They don't draw pictures, so it all counts for 3. But boy, Tommy Tuberville just is like, are you kidding me?
Is this deflected by somebody from Cincinnati at the line? It's a pinball way to knock in a field goal for sure off both posts.
It's just been one of those years since Cincinnati.
Yep.
You got to be kidding me, Tommy Tuberville. It goes through, but it did. Counts for 3. Not the same.
It's still a 7-point lead, though, for Cincinnati, and they've held on to this advantage through the entire night.
It's almost like, you know, as a golfer, you know, you hook a ball, and you're like, oh, no, and then it hits a tree,
Yes.
and then it hits another tree, and then it kicks on the green. You're like, oh, what a great shot.
That's always the best. I love that. You're waiting for it to kick out.
Yeah.
Does it happen to you a lot?
A few times.
And the pinball field goal from 24 yards out. And Beard on the return is going to be dropped before the 20-yard line for Cincinnati. Let's go back to that kick.
Yeah, just a little pinball. Let's go off the left upright. Let's carry him over to the right, and let's go through for 3.
Yeah, nobody touched that. He just hooked it left and got the bounce.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Well, and on the season, Redford Jones now 18 of 23 of the field goals. So the reaction from Tuberville is just priceless on the sideline.
He's like, you're kidding me. Not only do you hit one upright, you hit both of them, and it still goes in.
His offense, though, has made big plays tonight in the passing game. And now the play clock is down to 0. Flags are out. Did they get a timeout? Let's see.
Play game, offense, 5-yard penalty, it's out.
This is a real test here for Cincinnati tonight, you know, with their young players and their young talent to maintain composure in a full 60-minute game, because this is what's going to help them down the road and play with a lead. And the pass out for a very short pickup on the outside. Read perfectly that time by Kerwin Thomas, so the catch by Nate Cole.
Yeah, Thomas saw the underneath route. He let his receiver go, came up and made the tackle for the short gain.
Green is in the backfield. 3 receivers set. As Moore dumps it off for Green, and again read perfectly by Tulsa and their defense, and Craig Suits this time on the tackle.
Well, not only did Craig Suits read that perfectly, he came underneath the block as 64, Will Sturr, avoided him and made the play. That's how you read and recognize and react.
Tulsa looking for a big 3 and out here to get this ball back for their offense. Moore gets time in the pocket and is able to throw a strike for Geddes, who dives down for the reception. First down for Cincinnati.
And another big catch for the true freshman Thomas Geddes. And you're right, good protection up front. Hayden Moore steps up and throws a fastball low and away. Geddes goes down, makes the catch for the first down.
Now Green looking for some room, gets to the outside, gets the edge. Now you feel like every one of these players, Rini, for Cincinnati was challenged this week to really step up their game and finish the season on a high note.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. They want to win this game. They want momentum going into next year. And more importantly, you want to win it for your seniors.
They didn't travel too many. Less than 60 players traveled into this game for Cincinnati. They've been beat up, bunch of injuries. But they're playing inspired here tonight as Green on a short gain. It was second down, still going to be shy of the first. Trent Martin made the play for Tulsa. And speaking of seniors, his last game at home. And another third down, though. Third and short, though, for Cincy.
And they took their big back, Tion Green, out. So we'll see what Zach Taylor has dialed up here on third down.
Well, they've got Buckley in the backfield. They're bringing Cogswell, the tight end, a double tight end set now with him and DJ Dowdy on that left side. And it's Buckley hit behind the line of scrimmage, and it's going to lose yardage.
And that was the same formation, Mike, in the first half when it was third and short, where they faked the run and they hit the home run to Devin Gray. This time they decide to run it, and Jerry Uwezike up front, 99, fights through there like a rocket to make that play.
He's been one of the most steady players on defense for Tulsa, most on the team in his 48th career game tonight out of Houston, Texas, and forces Cincinnati into a punt. Anderson for the fair catch, and the defender got a little close to him there. He's looking for the flag, and there are none. And it's going to be Tulsa ball when we come back. So the Golden Hurricane, a chance for a drive to tie it. See if they can do it. Looking forward to it, New Year's Eve for the semifinals. And we'll have the college football playoff rankings coming out on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And it's a little cold here tonight in Tulsa.
Not too bad. Good night for football.
Not bad. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving here on this Friday, Black Friday. And, of course, a lot of excellent games going on in action, too, especially with some implications on the group of five. And the conference champion, the highest ranked conference champion in the group of five, gets to be in one of those New Year's Six bowl games.
Big win for Western Michigan today, and Navy ranked 25th, right on their heels on the road at SMU tomorrow in the American. And as you said, a lot of great games with that are very impactful.
And losses today by Houston out of the American, and also Boise State, right?
The Mountain West.
Tulsa with Flanders here across the 20-yard line on the first carry with still 11 and a half to play in this fourth quarter. How about what Dane Evans has done here tonight? His final home game in his career for the senior out of Sanger, Texas. As a $186, approaching that 3,000-yard mark here tonight.
You know, every senior wants to have a glorified career, and Dane Evans really, I think, has had that, along with his main targets, Kevin Lucas and Josh Atkinson.
Flanders again on the carry. He has now 31 carries tonight. And you look back to his last week, 163 yards, and tonight he's got 166.
Yeah, he is running the ball excellent this year. And again, give credit to that offensive line, but James Flanders is the good type of back, that downhill style, hard nose that runs well in an offense like this.
And it's a big 3rd down and 2 right now here deep in their own end at the 23-yard line. They're going to go to Flanders, and he's going to be dropped. Perry Young, true freshman linebacker, comes up to make the hit.
Well, and just like I said, Flanders is that downhill guy, Mike. I like him running north and south between the tackles. That time, it's a sweep. He gets it outside, and just you're going to get the speed guys from Cincinnati to come up and make that play. And Perry Young, the true freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama, 46, makes the tackle for the loss.
And if it wasn't Young, it would have been Edwards, that defensive back, number 4, that was right there as well to make the play. Braden Beard awaits the kick from Dalton Parks. Oh, he gets decked. Did he call the fair catch, or did he? As Whitfield runs right into him. Multiple flags are down. McKinley Whitfield just laid out Beard that time, but you were saying you saw the signal.
I did. I saw the signal ahead of time. That's clearly kick-catch interference, and that'll be 15 yards on top of that, and Cincinnati will keep the ball.
Yeah, in the worst way, right? Man, the ball was recovered by Davin Pierce for Cincinnati, but now they're going to discuss it here.
The catch interference. 85. 15-yard penalty. Media timeout.
I'm not sure what they're upset at because I clearly saw a hand go up there for the fair catch.
Coach Montgomery gets an explanation. And there it is. You saw the wave, and fans upset, but it's Cincinnati ball with good field position when we return. Game day is there live at 7 a.m. with a 5-hour show. Here's your top 5. And playoff implications on the line after that game is complete. Can't wait to see what happens.
There'll be a little pushing and shoving going on tomorrow, I'm sure.
I think a little bit of pushing and shoving here tonight after that last call that we had as Cincinnati has the ball. And we take a look at it, you know, it was a kick-catch interference. Even Santa was upset.
When Santa's angry, watch out. You know, we're getting close. Thanksgiving's, we're done with Thanksgiving. Christmas right around the corner. And, boy, refs made Santa mad. They're going to be on the naughty list, but they got it right because Braden Beard definitely signaled fair catch.
And here's Tion Green for Cincinnati just inside the 45-yard line of Tulsa. Well, I mean, today with your fair catch calls, I mean, sometimes it's just a quick wave of the hand. And it's a big third down now for Cincinnati. Crowd trying to come alive. They have not been great on third down tonight. Moore has been great, though, over 340 yards passing with the 3 touchdowns. And another completion, good for the first down. What a catch there by Nate Cole. Jordan Mitchell pushes him out.
Yeah, and it's just one-on-one on the outside. Nate Cole just runs an out cut. You see the cushion that Jordan Mitchell's given him, and it's just an easy pitch and catch by Hayden Moore.
Play action by Moore. It goes for Gray, and it's incomplete. Tell you though, every receiver has really stepped up. The receivers, the tight ends tonight for Cincinnati, and they've all made plays in this ball game.
They have, and that's really what they've been lacking this season. Just guys going out there making plays, and we've seen some young freshmen step up for Cincinnati. Thomas Geddes, Jerron Rollins, and those are plays that are very happy that they're making if you're offensive coordinator Zach Taylor.
Back to Green, gets a nice push. Good blocking by the offensive line, and finally Whitfield brings him down just shy of the first. And that previous play to Gray, I mean, remember Gray had that 82-yard touchdown reception back early in the second quarter to put Cincinnati on top 24-7. That's how they really had such a big cushion here tonight. They've yet to trail in this game. And they're driving here with under 8 minutes to play in the contest. Moore again looking for Gray, another shot, and the same result. And coverage by Reggie Robinson, redshirt freshman cornerback.
They have been going at Reggie Robinson all game, whether it's Thomas Geddes or that time Devin Gray. They have been challenging the young corner. A little shaken up on that one. Just think he kind of fell awkwardly defending that pass.
His head looked like it hit the turf too as well. And they'll attend to him. We'll step aside. Turf here defending on this last play.
Yeah, you see the back of the head hit the turf, and so they'll go through the concussion protocol and make sure he's okay, and before they let him return. And that smarts a little bit when you slam that head back down like that.
Really good year for this guy too, redshirt freshman. And he is out. And it's 4th and 1 for Cincinnati. Not going to try a 49-yard field goal. They're going to go for it here, trying to keep this drive alive. Moore's pass. Cole, he has it. First down. Nate Cole comes up big again. And his final game as a Bearcat, senior out of Memphis, Tennessee.
And again, just a big cushion on 4th and 1. You know, Tulsa kind of overloads the box, think they're going to run it, and they run an out pattern and a good throw by Hayden Moore, and they move the chains.
And that's really their one guy back in the wide receiver group with experience. I mean, they lost those 6 players to graduation, the senior laden receiving group that they had last year in a season in which they finished 7-6, went to a bowl game. Flea Flecker, Moore getting it back from Green into the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. It was Jeremy Brady back there on coverage. And it was intended for Jerron Rollins.
Well, they didn't fool anyone, boy. And I tell you what, if Jeremy Brady would have turned his hips and ran to the back of the end zone, he would have an easy interception. He just kind of stood there and then kind of got flat-footed, couldn't get up and make that interception.
And Tulsa has to be wary here of, once again, potentially 4-down territory, really with their backup field goal kicker all season. So as Green carries, finds a hole off to the right side and is down just inside the 20. And the clock goes under 7 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. See some of the big games coming up tomorrow. How about Deshaun Watson and Clemson? Heisman favorite coming into the season. I know Lamar Jackson's been outstanding for Louisville, but Clemson's got a chance at the playoff spot.
And that's what it's about, not the individual awards. They're trying to win the final prize, the college football playoff championship.
Big 3rd and 2 with a pass to the outside. It's going to be well behind the line to gain as Rollins makes the catch, but Thomas comes up to lay the stick. And do we see it again here? 4th down opportunity now for Cincinnati. Do they go for it yet again?
I think they're going to kick, Mike, and try to get up by 10. Craig Suits, 28, the linebacker, almost tips that. But Kerwin Thomas reads it perfectly as well, comes up and makes that tackle for the loss.
Much more manageable now on a 39-yard field goal attempt for Josh Paisley. Hit one earlier, 23. Paisley on the kick, and that one is good. So Cincinnati has gone up 10 points here with under 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Inspired football tonight from the Bearcats. Can they hang on in this one? Coming for Cincinnati, getting the Thanksgiving meal here, the whole team.
Good stuff. I wish I would have known where their hotel was. I would have snuck over there, got a little
I know.
Food with Cincinnati.
Looked like a really nice spread there for this crew here traveling to Tulsa in their final game of this 2016 season. Hasn't been what they've expected, but certainly here tonight gives the faithful a lot to be excited for next year. There has been a lot of big-time plays made in this game by young talent. I mean, you have to think about it coming in. 68 players on this roster are sophomores or younger. Short kick. They try to limit a big return, and it's time for Tulsa's Christian Williams. We check out Raymond Taylor on that grab that time, and the Golden Hurricane have it down by 10. College game day, 5 hours on the air tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern. Getting ready for Michigan and Ohio State. It's going to be a lot of fun. Playoff implications on the line. Do you think one's going to be out after this? Is that possible? I mean, could you still stay in the hunt if you lose this game?
I don't think so. I think this is an elimination game. But with that said, there's still a lot of football left to be played. The crazy thing is if Ohio State wins, they don't even go to the Big Ten championship.
Right.
Penn State goes. So it's going to be a fun ride here the last few weeks.
Can't forget about Wisconsin on the other side of that bracket. They're going to be in that Big Ten championship game. Tulsa here in the fight tonight. They are down by 10 and have some work to do, but this is what this offense is about, Rainey. They're able to strike, and they can do it in a short amount of time. A lot of scoring drives under 2 minutes, but for some reason tonight, is this game by Flanders, they don't seem like they're the Tulsa that we've been watching all season.
Yeah, really only one drive tonight, really, that we're accustomed to with that foot on the gas pedal going. And listen, they're down 2 scores, so as we approach 5 minutes left in this game, got to get going a little sense of urgency for them.
They're starting to here now. First down from the 39. Evans finds Atkinson. And a first down just over midfield. Remember, they have all 3 of their timeouts left. So does Cincinnati. Still a lot of football left here. Just over 5 minutes to go.
And just like that, they're past midfield and in striking distance.
Flanders again. And how many times has he been able to do that where it's just a chunk of 4, 5, 6 yards, and give that offensive line a ton of credit, not only tonight but this whole entire season. And giving Evans time to pass, and now Evans finds a seam and slides for the first.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You have that green grass in front of you, you take it, you know you got the first down, then go down, avoid the hit.
Now Brewer is in, D'Angelo Brewer to the right of Evans. And the draw, spin move by Brewer, taken down from behind. Caleb Ashworth for Cincinnati, and this is more the tempo that we're used to seeing.
Absolutely.
Johnson, he fumbles the football after the catch. Does he get it back? Keenan Johnson. And he does, avoiding what really possibly could have been the ball game if he fumbles this football.
I think he hits it with his own knee and knocks it out, and should have been recovered by Cincinnati. He did a great job to get it back.
I mean, Perry Young was right there, freshman versus freshman that time. And this ball high into the air as a flag comes in as Hobbs got hit. And by Grant Coleman, they're going to call interference.
First down.
Coleman didn't like it, Mike. From up here, it looked like he got there early, and it was an easy call for the official.
The one thing Cincinnati has done a really nice job of, not just the one thing, of course, but is keeping the penalties down this season. 12th in the nation coming in, which is about 4.5 penalties per ball game. They have 4 here tonight of 28 yards. This one, though, gives Tulsa a first down as Brewer is stopped by Marquise Copeland.
And Copeland is a strong dude in there. 6'3", 260 pounds from Cleveland, Ohio. But you see when he got his big paws on D'Angelo Brewer, put him back the other way.
Still a ton of time as Evans is a little off the mark with his pass here, intended for Lucas, who has made some incredible catches, not only in this game, but throughout his entire career. That's a tough one, though, there.
It was. That one was a little behind. Kevin Lucas tried to adjust to make the catch, but just couldn't do it.
Obviously, you need some sort of points, so you can go for the field goal if you don't get it here on third down.
Yeah,
right?
And that's what you do here if you're Philip Montgomery. You don't pick this first down up. You kick it and get it back to a one-possession game.
Evans, dangerous throw, and maybe more interference and contact. Atkinson says, where's the flag? And it comes in late.
And in all fairness, it wasn't that it was a late decision by the official. He just could not get his flag out from his pants. He was reaching for it, trying to get it. It took him about 3 seconds.
Number 9, automatic first down.
As Lyndon Stevens defending.
And it's a good call as
the
receiver, Atkinson, tries to adjust it. Stevens kind of reaches in there, holds him, and it's the right call by the official. Just took him a while to dig the flag out.
Runs right into him. So as I say about the penalties, trying to keep that to a minimum here. You know, Cincinnati is just, they don't want to give it up. They don't want to give up that big play. And right now they've put Tulsa inside of the 10-yard line. The ball is going to be placed at the 5 with first and goal. And now touchdown on the mind for Tulsa here. And with all 3 of their timeouts left, can play defense. They got to get points first. Atkinson, and he couldn't grab it. And again, one-on-one with Lyndon Stevens.
And that time, Stevens had the right hand in there. You're going to see Josh Atkinson look like he's going to come down with the ball. Watch Stevens' right hand, put it in there and knock it out. Excellent job.
Yeah, and Atkinson would have came down in bounds, it looked like, too. Redeems himself and saves a touchdown. Evans again, guns it, and this one is caught for the touchdown. He's got Chris Minter, the tight end, on the grab for the score.
And only Minter's second touchdown on the season. Good play action fake. Looked like they might go speed sweep to Kevin Lucas. Widen out the defense a little bit. Minter circles out down the seam, and Evans throws him a fastball for the touchdown. Nice play call. Excellent execution.
And it's become very interesting now. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left as Tulsa can make it a 3-point ball game, and they do just that. So 34-31, and they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Yeah, you kick this thing off, you go down and play defense, and you try to get the ball back for your offense.
11 plays, 74 yards. Took 2 minutes and 42 seconds to get down there for the touchdown. And we get you ready for tomorrow's action at noon Eastern on ABC. 113th meeting of the game. 9 a.m. Pacific. We're also streaming live at the ESPN app. Watch ESPN. Playoff implications. Buckeyes have won the last 4. They've won 11 of the last 12 against Michigan.
What do you think?
You know, it's crazy, but I think Ohio State pulls it off, you know, and as you said, they're not even in the Big Ten championship game, but
just for the chaos, right?
Yeah, but are you going to bounce them out? I mean, it's going to be...
Yeah, could you imagine 11-1, right?
Sure.
With the 1 loss at Penn State, and do you keep them out? Like you said,
I mean, what happens if Penn State wins the Big Ten?
Yeah, it's
and they beat
some
Ohio
good
State.
stuff.
And you got Clemson, you got Washington, of course you got Alabama. There's a lot still to be decided. 500 yards of offense, 503 to be exact for Tulsa tonight. 8th time this year. 15th time in the last 2 years under coach Philip Montgomery. He knows about offense.
Well, and the funny thing is, with 31 points and over 500 yards of total offense, they have not been nearly as explosive as we've seen them this season. It's funny saying that with 500 yards and 31 points.
Correct, but it's been the defense this game that's given up some plays. You talk about explosive, it's happened by Cincinnati. Philip Montgomery is now trying to fire up the faithful here tonight in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as it comes down to the final 3:12 in Cincinnati, and Hayden Moore back on the field.
And if you're Tulsa, you believe now with the momentum, you stop them here, get the ball back, your offense is going to score a touchdown and win this game.
Moore on the give to Green, and Tulsa's all over it. That defense stacking him right up, and a timeout taken. Only 5 seconds off the clock.
And with 3 timeouts, Philip Montgomery can elect to take one there on first down.
I think about the other side for Cincinnati. There's nothing to lose here in this game, right? They came out taking shots down the field. Receivers are making plays. They had a trick play.
So expect a shot here.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to run the ball up the middle 3 times in a row and give the ball back to Tulsa? I don't see that happening. I don't suspect it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it. I don't have a problem with the play call on first down. Get it to your big back who's had some success running the ball, but a good job by Tulsa to sell out against the run. But I'm with you, Mike. I see a play action coming here and taking another shot. It's kind of feast or famine for you.
It's one of those things. Do what got you to this point. And Hayden Moore has been spectacular tonight. Over 300 yards passing, well over 300. Green's in the backfield. This crowd is jumping here in Tulsa. And here we go with a play fake. And there it is, taking a shot. It's Guinness, and he can't quite grab it. And back there was Brady on the coverage, Jeremy Brady. Also Jordan Mitchell.
Well, Jordan Mitchell was on top. Brady comes underneath. They weren't going to let Geddes run by him this time as Brady gets on his horse, kind of reaches in there late, and I think it's a good no call.
But now they're faced with a 3rd down and 10. So they did take a shot, but this is going to be difficult now. Here's only 3 of 13 on 3rd down tonight. Moore rolling, passing. Rollins, does he have it? Yes, he does. Catch by Jerron Rollins for the 1st down. Unbelievable.
And the true freshman comes up with a big catch. I like the play call. Roll Hayden Moore out to the right, move the pocket, give him a target. The young receiver Rollins comes across the formation, goes down and makes the catch for the first down.
It's just unbelievable because they haven't made these plays all season, and they've had multiple ones like this tonight.
And this is where now you run the ball on first down, Mike. You force Philip Montgomery to take his second time out on this play.
Green bumps it to the outside and is going to pick up good yardage here on this first down run. It's going to be a gain of at least 6.
And Philip Montgomery elects not to take it on second here. He's going to take it on third. So if you're Hayden Moore, you let this play clock run all the way down. It's at 30 seconds so that they can wait till essentially 1:30 left in the game to snap it here. And then Philip Montgomery will take that second time out.
One more first down and this thing's over.
Yeah.
And it's second down and 4. So Cincinnati in the driver's seat here right now. And they had a third down and long, and they converted. Now they're with second and 4 and forcing Tulsa to use the timeouts. It's Green. We'll get 2 right to midfield, and here was the timeout taken by Montgomery. No one expected this here tonight, Reedy. Tulsa came in 3+ touchdown favorites in this ball game versus the Bearcats, and it's been all Cincinnati.
And good job by Cincinnati running the play clock down, and a nice job by Phil Montgomery taking that second time out. And it all comes down to this third down play.
How about the bowl tie-ins for the American Athletic Conference here? 7 on this list. And this is what's coming up. This is what Tulsa has to look forward to because they're going to a bowl.
Yeah, you're playing for the best bowl to position yourself, and obviously, and you're also playing at a shot at a 10-win season if you win this one and win your bowl game. And it's not too many programs can say they've won 10 games.
Cincinnati trying to play spoiler tonight here on senior night at Tulsa. It is 3rd and 2. A first down is going to seal this thing for the Bearcats. Moore sideline route and sails it over the head of Rollins. And Thomas was on coverage. Okay, Reedy.
Well, that's huge for Tulsa because they elect to throw it, and they've done it all night. They don't pick it up, so Tulsa doesn't have to burn a timeout. They still have 1 left, and obviously Cincinnati's not going to go for it here. I would be shocked. They're going to punt this thing away and play defense and see if Tulsa can go the length of the field to score a touchdown to win. But again, they only need a field goal, Mike, to send it into overtime.
Hayden Moore to the sideline. They got nothing to shake their head about, though, tonight. They average only 359 yards of offense. They have over 500 tonight. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. And they've done their job on the offensive side of the ball. Now it's up to the defense here, as Tulsa is going to have 1 minute and 19 seconds and 1 timeout still to work with.
That's an eternity for them when they're going good.
I mean, how many times have they scored under a minute this season? They've had 10 scoring drives under a minute. What do you think here? Coming out now, the way this offense has been, taking a little bit more time, but you know they can go fast when they want to.
No, you're going to do what you do best, but go fast. I think they won't obviously rely on the run in this series. You got to get 4 wides out, and you got to get going. And again, their kicker, Redford Jones, his length is about a 50-yarder right in there, so you're looking at about the 33-yard line to get to give him a shot at it.
His long of the season is 46. Here's Johnson on the catch. And right close to the first down marker, a tad shy, about a yard shy, 2nd and 1 on the way. Clock is moving. To tie his long of the season, they'd have to get to the 29-yard line. Flanders. First down will stop the clock at the 29 to move the chain.
And they can still use the middle of the field, the 1 timeout, but remember in college football, the clock stops after a first down. That's why they ran it right there.
Evans stepping up in the pocket again. Johnson sideline, and he's kept in bounds. Good job by Lyndon Stevens. But it is a first, so once again, a quick stoppage to move the chain.
And it's going to start again quickly, but a good job by the young receiver Johnson to get past the stick, so when he made the catch, it was a first down.
Look at how fast they move. Evans again over the middle, and it's off the hands of Johnson.
And that time, Dane Evans just reared back, and it just went a little high on him. It's a fastball that Keenan Johnson couldn't come down with, but he was wide open there, Mike. Would have been a huge reception.
Phil Montgomery, the head coach and the offensive coordinator, done this number of times. 5 consecutive bowl games with Baylor from 2010 to 2014. The nation's leading offense for those 2 straight years from 2013 and 14. And has brought it here to Tulsa. And Dane Evans, the senior, gets it to Atkinson. Another senior, the wide receiver inside the Cincinnati 40. And they're inching their way closer to field goal range, a gain of 22.
Just great job by Dane Evans to keep that play alive, extend it, and find Atkinson.
And they run it here, and the pass is Johnson with a catch inside the 25, still on his feet. Do they use the timeout here to the 20 as the clock reads 12 seconds left? Coach Montgomery, no, they want to spike it, and that will stop the clock with 10 seconds.
I think that's a great decision. Only 2 seconds came off the clock. Now with 10 seconds, you can still throw it down the field. You don't have to throw it in the end zone. If a guy gets tackled in the field of play and goes down, you still burn that last timeout, and you get a chance to kick the field goal. But you never know. He breaks a tackle and scores the winning touchdown.
Evans, 23 of 36 for 269 yards tonight. He's over 3,000 for the season. Now remember, Redford Jones had that pinball 24-yard field goal just a little while ago that went off both uprights. 10 seconds left, second down. Evans, they still have the timeout. Over the middle, it's Atkinson. He has it at the 5-yard line. 5 seconds to go, and Phil Montgomery does not take any chances. Timeout here in Tulsa.
So now at the 5. Usually a play takes about 5 seconds, but since you're at the 5 now, what Philip Montgomery can do is take one shot with a back shoulder fade to a big receiver like Atkinson, see if you can score a touchdown and win the game. You should probably have 2 seconds left or a second left, but you got to be quick with it. You can't dilly-dally.
Well, yeah, do you go for a fade, or do you do a crossing route where you can kind of gun it in there, and if he doesn't get it, you might have a second left?
Something quick. And normally I would say it's very risky. You would kick it right now, but I think he feels momentum, and I think he's going to call a play that's going to be fast, as you said, whether it's a back shoulder fade or a quick slant, see if he can win this thing in walk-off fashion. And we've seen him do it before here in this stadium.
Or does he go to Redford Jones and try to tie this up and go to overtime? It would be just a 22-yard field goal from here.
If he was at the 10 or 12, I would say you kick it. But I think at the 5, you give yourself one shot, and we'll see what he does. He's going to kick it.
Well, I could see where you were headed here, and Coach Montgomery is...
And that was the 100th play tonight for that Tulsa offense.
He's very risky, but not this risky here. They're going to go for the game-tying field goal and try to push this into overtime. Redford Jones, 22-yard attempt. Robert Hill snaps. Sam Gotch will hold. They get it down, and Jones's kick is good. 34 all here tonight in Tulsa. What a comeback by the Golden Hurricane. They trailed throughout the entire game, and with zeros on the clock, we're not at 34. What do you think is going through the mind of head coach Tommy Tuberville for Cincinnati?
He's just got to be saying it's one of those years, but we'll see. Overtime, they're still fighting.
We'll be back with overtime right after this. As we get ready for overtime here tonight in Tulsa, Mike Corey, Rudy Angolia.
I mean, what a great job by Tulsa defensively to get the ball back, drive down the length of the field, don't get the touchdown, but they get the tying field goal to send this thing into overtime.
Redford Jones, some 22 yards out. And Cincinnati, which once had a 24-7 advantage, they can only watch in disbelief.
Well, you know what Tommy Tuberville was thinking? How about that field goal that clanked off both uprights and went through? Not that one, though, by Redford Jones. That was true.
Tulsa has won 4 of their last 5 games this season, trying to make it 5 of 6 as they get prepared for a bowl game. And we'll get Todd LaPenta.
Okay, gentlemen, each of you will have one timeout for a period. Both teams have their challenges remaining. Cincinnati will call the toss. will have a choice of offense, defense, or side of field for the winner of the toss. Heads and a tails. What do you call it? It's called a tails. It's a heads. Who won the toss?
Hold on, heads. You said heads. You said tails. He said tails.
That's right. The Tulsa's won.
Yeah,
that's correct.
We want to be on defense first. Play defense.
Okay.
Come on, now you trying to get us.
Tulsa won the toss. Going offense first down.
But Kevin Lucas and Gunnar Keel having a little fun out there. Trying to get us.
How about it? Programming note, UCLA, Nebraska basketball is airing right now over on ESPN News. Want to let you know about that as we are getting set for overtime here tonight, and one away for these fans at Tulsa and senior night as the Golden Hurricane 8-5 in overtime games, 2-0 this season. And how about a combined 1,111 yards tonight by both teams?
Yeah, and about to go past that here in overtime.
What was it the last time we were here with
overtime.
Tulsa, SMU?
Maybe it's us.
Yes, it is. I mean, we had 190 plays combined by both teams in that game, and an earlier win for Tulsa against SMU. They've had 2 overtime wins, as we said, 1 in double overtime at Fresno State and here at home versus SMU.
And Dane Evans scored the winning touchdowns in both of those on zone reads, pulling it and keeping it. We'll see what happens tonight.
So it's Cincinnati first from the 25-yard line. Overtime here at Tulsa. Hayden Moore has Tion Green in the backfield. There's a fake. Moore's in trouble. Is that a pass or a fumble? They're going to let it go out, and it's going to be recovered by Jerry Uwezoke. For Tulsa, they rule the fumble, and it's the Golden Hurricanes ball.
Yeah, Todd LaPenta threw the beanbag. That's the correct thing to do. Let it play out as a fumble, and if it's a forward pass, he'll let replay clean it up because you don't want to blow it dead if you're not sure. But we'll get many looks at this one, but right now it's called a fumble.
They're going to review it, as you said. Hayden Carmine was in there for the forced fumble. What do you think?
To me, Mike, his arm's going forward and the ball goes forward. I believe it's going to be an incomplete pass, and it's going to be second down. I think they'll reverse this.
I agree with you. That's what I thought initially from up here. When I first saw it, you're right. Yeah. Arm going forward. It wasn't conventional, obviously. I mean, the ball hits the turf right in front of him, but he's attempting to pass.
Arm's definitely going forward. The ball shoots down straight into the ground as he gets hit. To me, it's an incomplete pass. I think they'll reverse it.
I like the job, though, by the officials to let the play go out, to let the play continue. So in case that wasn't the case, it was a complete recovery by Tulsa.
Absolutely, because if you blow it dead and say it's an incomplete pass, and then it turns out to be a fumble, then you're in trouble. Right. You're not going to be able to reverse that. But a lot of pressure on the replay booth, and we'll see. But from what I saw from those replays, Mike, I think they'll reverse this and make it an incomplete pass.
Sophomore out of Clay, Alabama. What a job he's done tonight. 371 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. 20 of 35. Plus, he's got the touchdown catch. Remember that? He threw it over to Tyler Cogswell, the tight end behind the line of scrimmage. And it was a throwback to Moore, the quarterback, who ran it in. Here's our call from...
After further review, the receiver was throwing the ball forward. Is that an incomplete forward pass?
The replay official, Mike. A little side note, he's the only replay official in the American that's a former coach. He's not an official, and he's spot on. He got it right.
Although you and I are getting glaring looks from the fans.
We're surrounded
up here
by two booths, but you see his arm clearly going forward as he tries to duck the hit from Hayden Carman, but the arm's going forward, the ball comes out, and it's an incomplete pass.
It is the correct call. Fans infuriated, but it is 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Cole in motion. Little fake to him. Moore spins out of trouble, and Hayden Moore takes a big hit and gets down close to the first down. A valiant effort by him tonight. Linscott gave him a shot, but he bounced off of him and runs for 9.
I mean, it looked like they were going to sack him. He spins out, and he almost picks up the first down.
3rd and 1 in overtime. Tulsa's opportunity in offense after this. If they could stop him. And they hold him, and it's incomplete. Well overthrown for Gray. Miscommunication, so let's see what they do.
Yeah, Gray ran a stop route. Hayden Moore thought he was going to go to the corner, and I don't think you risk it and go for it here. You kick the field goal, and then you play defense and try to keep Tulsa out of the end zone.
All right, so Josh Paisley will be a 33-yard attempt. Making a 34-yarder officially. 34-yard attempt for Paisley to put Cincinnati up 3 in overtime. Here's the kick. And it's good.
But that's what Tulsa wanted to do. That's why you take defense first in overtime. So you know what your offense has to do. They held Cincinnati to a field goal. Listen, you come out here, you score a touchdown, you win the game. So defense did their job.
Yes, they did. 3-point lead for Cincinnati with now Tulsa, who's had the experience in this position this season.
Yeah, they've been here 2 times before just this season alone.
However, if you're Cincinnati and you've been watching film, of course they have, you would have seen those 2 Dane Evans quarterback keepers for touchdowns that have given Tulsa the win in both of their overtime games.
He hasn't done one zone read tonight, so we'll see.
Flanders starts in the backfield, 4 receiver set. Touchdown wins it for Tulsa. Nothing for Flanders on first down, maybe a half-a-yard loss.
Well, the big guy, Cortez Broughton, right in the middle, 96. Gets off the block quick, and James Flanders runs into him. It's like running into a wall.
37th carry for Flanders tonight. 5 yards away from 200. Taking some time. What do you think?
Well, and this is the pace. Really, they're not at their best.
Well, Flanders hit again, and it's all Cincinnati there, and this defensive front making the stop. A lot of help. All white jerseys converging. 5 guys there on Flanders that time.
Yeah, Eric Wilson, the middle linebacker there again. Antonio Kennard, Mike Tyson. I mean, that defensive front and those linebackers really flying to the football.
Going to make this real tough on Redford Jones here if they don't pick up some yardage, and a field goal, a chance to tie it if they can't convert. 3rd and 10. Look out. Movement. Flags are down. Evans takes a deep ball. Atkinson. He's got it inside the 5.
And again, it was a free play, Mike. Offside on Cincinnati. Dane Evans knew that.
Offside defense, number 96. The players decline. Play is a first down.
Such awareness. He's done it multiple times tonight.
And knowing that Josh Atkinson is a big 6'2" receiver that can go up and high point a ball, throw it up there, give him a chance, and he comes down on it. Comes down with it. 1st and goal for Tulsa to win this game.
Snap to Evans. Flanders up the middle. Touchdown. Tulsa wins it in overtime. For the 3rd time this year in extra time.
Well, they ran zone read, but Dane Evans didn't keep it this time. Gave it to his big back, and another walk-off win in overtime for Tulsa.
40-37, the final. Cincinnati had led the entire game. Tulsa came back to tie it at 34 to go to overtime, and they win it with a Flanders touchdown.
I mean, no moral victories, but boy, Cincinnati really doesn't need to hang their heads. They played very well tonight. Only traveled 59 guys, just decimated with injuries this season. They got a lot of young guys coming back, a lot of guys they redshirted, so that next year will be a lot better for Cincinnati.
The seniors for Tulsa will not forget about this game as they come back and win it. And the seniors for Cincinnati won't forget either. They let it all out on the line here tonight. An excellent football game between these two teams.
But fitting that James Flanders gets this winning touchdown with the great night he had, nearly 200 yards rushing to finish it off. the fifth-year senior out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. Pretty special night and pretty special senior night for him.
2 touchdown runs of 5 and 4 yards, and Tulsa is going to finish the regular season at 9-3 and 6-2 of the American. Cincinnati drops to 4-8, 1-7.
Again, a chance to have a 10-win season, become a bowl champion. Pretty good season for Tulsa thus far.
Well, a lot of fun working with you this season,
you too,
my
partner.
friend Rudy. And that's going to do it for us. Thanks to our entire crew here on ESPN. Great to be with you tonight. Thanks for watching. Now let's send you to Anaheim, California. UCLA is taking on Nebraska, and the Wooden Legacy is part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Have a great night, everybody.